today's show is Sanchez versus Tazaryach. Hebrews as the black face of manifest destiny. This is an old debate that we did, but we never did go back and let the people get involved on the voting process and the weigh-in process. We kind of did the debate, and it was a lot of stuff that came up more important, I would say, than me and Tazaryach's debate. A lot of different trending news topics and all that. It kind of got buried. So me and the captain got a debate tomorrow on Sarnetta's channel. And it's going to be basically, matter of fact, let me show y'all this because I want everybody to show up tomorrow. Here it is right here, y'all. It's over on the HOK. Shout out to Sarnetta, man. And before I start the show, let me just say this real quick. Salutes to Sarnetta. My thing about Sarnetta is what people can't really deny is that he's like the OG of this conscious community, organized debate style content. So I'm, I do a lot of that style content, but see the thing about me, I'm not gonna never, stop acknowledging the guru of the shit. So I don't know, everybody may have negative shit, positive shit to say about Sarnetta. I don't know. He's a controversial guy. He even know that. So he ain't even mad at me saying that. But one thing none of us can't deny. He's like the Don King of this consciousness shit. He made it entertaining. He made what people would call nerdy conversations interesting to black people. And everybody who followed that format, it worked. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna hate on that. Salutes to Sarnetta. Now we do got a debate on Sarnetta's channel, and it's gonna be, is rap music the cause of violence? This ain't really a debate. Salutes to Captain Tazaryach as well. It's more of a discussion and a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because what I like about Sarnetta, what I like about Captain Tazaryach, now what I'm about to say is not true for the people. Let me cut my camera on. This is important. You get my expressions on this one. What I'm about to say right now is not true for the people. What do I mean by the people? The subscribers, the fans. Why I'm saying that? Sarnetta's fans and Captain Tazaryach's fans are gonna have a lot of bitter, bad shit to say about Sanchez. And Sanchez's fans is gonna have a lot of bitter and bad shit to say about Captain Tazaryach. But guess what though? You know who make the best comments and critiques out of these debates? The people who ain't a fan of neither side. They just, even if you are a fan, guess what you do? You show up and say, I'ma just listen to this debate without picking a side. I'ma see who making a more intelligent argument. And I'ma weigh both arguments in, and I'ma go with that person. And guess what you saying before you do that? It don't even matter if I don't like Sanchez. It don't matter if I don't like Captain Tazaryach. Forget both of them Negroes. What I'm gonna focus on is what they saying and not them at all. Forget them as the person. I'ma straight up delete Sanchez. I'ma delete Captain Tazaryach. And I'ma just straight up focus on what's coming out of their mouth. Not even the individual. And I'm gonna judge it by who's saying the stuff that makes the most sense. I'm gonna tell you right now, people who able to be good judges and not be biased and actually come from that angle and make a rational decision, y'all are more valuable than the debaters themselves. Because the integrity of a debate is in your hands. Ain't nothing but a few judges, right? So those judges got to be judging off something more than, I don't like Sanchez. And that nigga think the earth flat. Fuck that. I'm going to give this vote to Tazaryach. You know, you got to just say, I don't even see Sanchez. I just hear an argument on the left and an argument on the right. And this the one I think make the most sense. You see what I'm saying? Y'all drop a 1. Now, that right there is wishful thinking. We got to put that on the table, too. Now, that is wishful thinking like a motherfucker when it come to y'all now. Because I saw everybody was like, yeah, Sanchez, that's the way it go. No, that's the way that I'm wishful thinking that shit. But in reality, people are biased like a motherfucker. People will show up and say, man, that nigga Sanchez kicked me off of a show one time. Fuck that, I'm voting for Tazaryach. Just saying. That's things we gotta keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, in 23 hours, I will be dismantling the captain. Let me quit playing. Shout out to the captain, man. It ain't even no energy like that. It's a conversation and a discussion. But most of all, it's an opportunity to see if we can continue to make this kind of collaborative content with one another. Because it's ultimately going to be dictated by you guys. What I mean is the messy shit got to stop. It's okay to be a fan of Captain Tazaryach. But when you such a fan of one dude that you try everything in your power to hurt. Like, y'all don't know me. You never met me in person. This is the internet. These are arguments that are at an intellectual level. And real talk, if push came to shove, I would protect some of y'all and you would protect me if we were in a life or death situation. But why am I saying that? Because on the internet, sometimes we get carried away. If a person is saying an argument that we like, we will actually sabotage their opponent. And it ain't that deep. Sabotage, slander, character tainting, which goes on so common. If it didn't, I wouldn't be making this speech. It ain't that deep, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You can love Tazaryach and not hate Sanchez. Did you know that? You can love Sanchez and not hate Tazaryach. I'm going to tell y'all some real shit. Debating is risky business nowadays. Y'all making it like the rap community with the drill rappers with, I'm picking my gang and I'm riding die hard with my side. Like how the drill rappers got their fans and they fans will ride or die to the penitentiary or the grave with that rapper. And will celebrate the death of their enemy. That's how drill rap go. If the enemy die, like if Kendrick Lamar would have got shot up when him and Drake was beefing, I'm telling y'all right now, Drake fans would have celebrated that shit. Why? Because they evil as hell. Now somebody may say, Sanchez, you being one-sided. Guess what? Yes, Kendrick Lamar fans will celebrate Drake's death too. The beef got like that. But see, that's like Tupac versus Biggie. The beef got so deep that if you was a Pac fan, you couldn't even be a Biggie fan. And if you was a Biggie fan, you couldn't be no Pac fan. You had to pick a side, like Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Sometimes the beef get just that deep. But I'm going to say, in the so-called conscious community, it should never get that deep because we ain't gang members. We supposed to be nerds having intellectual disagreements, right? I got to remind y'all of that. But let's go ahead and skip to the topic at hand. So today's title, and before I get into that, shout out to my brother Marlon Wells, man, a continued supporter. He says Sanchez won the debate because Tazaryach never engaged the topic because it disarmed him. Marlon, where did you go? Because he's still in the waiting room. I'm gonna bring him forth right now to join me right now. I'm gonna let y'all hear Marlon's take on it real quick, and then we'll get into the show. Marlon, are you there, man? Salutes to you. OG, how you doing, man? We gonna let him get his mic set up, y'all. Y'all finna have a dope introduction to the show with the OG Marlon, because I'm telling you right now, he's saying I won a debate, but it's not favoritism. He's a fair brother. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Marlon. Your mic ready? Salutes.
I think so. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Take over, man. Take your time. Go into your super chat. Break it down why you say I won, and then just break the whole debate down, because some of these folks ain't even watch it. I know you be in every debate. I know you a day one flat power. So, yeah, break it down to him, bro.
Okay, so here's how the debate started off with the blackface comment,
Hey,
but
Marlon, you just a
he put,
tad bit muffled, but we can hear you, but we gotta kind of strain just a tad. But go ahead.
can you hear me now?
That's better. Go ahead. Stay there. You got it. Go ahead.
Okay, I just got to talk louder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my thing was, you took all his weapons. I mean, you totally took all his weapons when you said, manifest destiny. And where did he go? No, I'm going to back that up. He's the face of manifest destiny. So what is manifest destiny? That is when they got here and they were going to go from sea to shining sea, and everything in their sight was ordained by the church, right? They had the Bible the whole time, right?
That's why I fuck with you. Preach to him. To do your shit, nigga. Talk that shit. Go ahead.
They had the Bible the whole time. So that was in the forefront, justifying everything.
Yeah.
Now, what they don't have is the rest of the Bible. In other words, well, if you're going to go to the true Bible, you got to go to Ethiopia. Now, if he would
Come
have had to
on,
go,
preach to these niggas,
he would
Marlon.
have to
Come
go
on.
get an Ethiopian Bible that's almost a
Mm-hmm.
millennia older, 830 years
Come
older.
on, talk to him, nigga.
Okay, they took that book and broke down 22 books off of it. They just peeled off 22 books. Went from 88 books
Hey,
to
listen, hold up,
66
Ma. Hold
books.
on a second, man. In the chat room, pay attention, y'all. Please pay attention. Please listen to what this brother's saying. It's a lot, and he's giving it to you like slow it down in your mind. Listen, Ma. Listen to what he's saying. Go ahead, Moses. My bad.
So the Bible is originally 88 books. And starting from Genesis, it's 88 books. So the European Western Bible is only 66 books.
Mm.
So why did they take off all those books?
Come on, talk to
Because
him.
they wanted to make a king God, and they wanted to make God in their image.
Come on with it.
Everything in those other books talked about angels, God throwing angels out.
Right. And the people who
You see what
did
I'm
this
saying?
is what Revelation called the synagogue of Satan. And we didn't know how to distinguish who's who. Go ahead, yeah.
So the kings didn't want nobody above them. That's why they call it the King James Version.
Mm-hmm.
The king, it was the church taking
That's
over.
right. Right.
And the king was over the church. So that was the hierarchy. It stopped at the king.
Let's go.
If angels can be fried for their transgressions, I mean, what's a king? So when you said that he was taking their agenda, every time he went to make an argument, he went to their book.
That's what I'm talking about.
He
But
lost
see,
right there.
now, Marlon, it ain't just the Hebrews who do that. The black church do it. Even the papacy trained our people to do that, because it's like saying if I'm trying a murderer on trial, I can only cross-examine the murderer. I can't resort to none of the witnesses. I can't resort to none of the outer main. Because think about it, in a court of law, Marlon, I may say, look, I don't even want to talk to the suspected murderer. Let me talk to the next door neighbor that was right here or there. See, that next door neighbor, Marlon, is like the book of Judas or the Gospel of Thomas. It's a removed book. So it'll be like an investigation where I can only cross-examine the murderer, who is the one suspected of doing the crime, and I can never talk to any outer sources.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was my thing. It was like every time you told him what you were saying, he ignored it. He went to a whole day. He instead of being accused of being the black face of it, he would refer back to the blackface actors he used to put on
Yes, he
to play
did.
black characters. He kept saying that's a change
Yeah,
in the
bro.
subject.
That's right.
He kept taking, and then you even went back and put it back into the context that you were presented in. I ignored that and went to the definition of manifest destiny. But when you cannot take the Bible out of manifest destiny,
Right.
not one tailor made for
That's
that.
right.
Started with crusades. If you didn't accept their God, they put a sword right through you.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the end of that.
Yeah.
So there was a king behind all that. There was a reason
Hold on,
behind
wait, stop. Say that again. There was a king behind. See, Marlon, what we
all of it.
telling them is like all of their doctrine was a sanction, it was a law, it was a council behind either King Constantine, Tertullian. Like we can go down a list of kings to King James, like you keep bringing up. They
Mhm.
don't see that these were laws that were passed to control how people think on the earth. You see what I'm saying?
Right. All earthly people. You know, they when you read the the book, I don't know every book by heart, but there's a book that covers the
Yeah.
angels being cast down.
See, but the whole thing, you don't
There's a
gotta
book.
know every book by heart, because the whole question is, if the Bible say don't add and don't take away, the greatest sin that was committed was when the papacy took away some books and added some books to the Bible and made it canon, quote unquote, and non-canon. You see?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you was telling him. That was the manifest destiny right there. And he's still
That's
quoting
facts.
from the manifest destiny, you
It's
know.
facts.
And so that's why I'm like, he was losing every time he went through a
Every
scripture.
time, because bro, the
Like,
fact
wait a
that
minute.
you can't even reference certain books is manifest destiny, because as a black man, if you bring up the Gospel of Thomas, they gonna say, well, that ain't canon. Who determined what's canon or not? The white man. See where you go. What this what Marlon telling y'all, this what I was telling y'all. It all goes back to the slave mindset and just the white man having authority.
And no matter what, you can't trace that book back to Ethiopia and find it English version.
In fact, Marlon, when you say the word Ethiopian Bible, like what you just said, they start shitting bricks. Can you go into why Western theologians, Abrahamic faith ass niggas, don't like the Ethiopian Bible nor the Old Testament? You don't want to do that to them, do you, Marlon? Hey, because look, we can give you all this knowledge, bro. Sit back and buckle up. Why don't the Hebrews like the Old Testament? Listen, here's the thing right
They
here.
don't like that. If they
The,
even went with an Old Testament Bible, it would still have all the old. Well, no, it wouldn't. Not the English version. So you would have to go back to a country they never colonized. They tried to starve them out, you know, but they never colonized. They were never able to colonize Ethiopia. That's why they believe the ark is still there.
mm-hmm. Right.
So
No, when you say they believe the ark is still there, is that part of the deception behind you get the History Channel and Nat Geo and all them talking about we discovered the Ark in Europe and like they discovered the like kind of like the Atlantis deception. Where is Atlantis? Y'all discovering it everywhere.
Like it wasn't real. It never happened. So,
Right.
you know,
Oh,
Atlantis,
it's being mistranslated or something. Yeah.
yeah, this could be Atlantis on that side, and this ruins under the ocean on this side. That could have been Atlantis.
See,
But you
y'all,
know,
this the kind of shit right here that's gonna get your thinking on a deep, different, investigative, critical thinking level. Stick around. Let's go. Go ahead. We got more people joining. Go ahead,
so
Marlon. You got it.
so,
Take your
so my
time.
thing, I was waiting on him to to explain.
Ain't nobody gonna
He's not.
explain.
He love that
Hey,
play,
this
right?
nigga here
He
right
fucking me up.
here. Hey, bro, but that's crazy how we both started laughing right there when you said you waited on them to explain, because I thought about that shit. Like, bro, ain't nobody gonna come up here and explain that. You do know, Marlon, you know that. You full of shit. You wrong for that, man.
But yeah,
You
but I
know
mean,
that,
why
nigga.
you gotta? But he's always bringing up how much he hate white people, right?
Yeah.
And he's saying that, oh no, anybody, he's making it like that. He might be uniting those with him, but he's separating those with him from everybody around him at the same time.
Bro,
If you
these
track
kind
it.
of conversations really make Hebrews uptight, Marlon. You might want to chill a minute, man.
It's not
Because,
about
but you know,
it's,
I know you. See, I'm gonna say it for you. I'm gonna say it for you. Even say it, y'all. Marlon ain't like Sanchez. With me, is smoke when I find that I got you. I'm gonna really put the pressure on you to explain this flaw. Now, Marlon, he's more graceful. He's gonna point out how you fucked up and be like, man, ain't no smoke, and like kind of give you. See, investigators do that too. They be like, bro, you know, you was just in a wrong way of thinking. We understand. See, that's why I can play good cop, bad cop with any op that come on here against this flat power shit with Marlon. I can play good cop, bad cop with their ass. And I'm going to be, Marlon already know I'm going to go in on them relentlessly. And Marlon going to be like, but you know, man, and it just works perfect, in my opinion. But let's go ahead, y'all.
well, yeah, what I wanted to see him do is like, okay, I can bring up the Ethiopian Bible,
Mm-hmm.
or I should say the original Bible, and give you everything from the original Bible, not from that same book
Yep.
that they wrote for us.
Yeah.
So that's what I meant when I said you disarmed them
Mm-hmm.
by saying,
But,
okay, now in the book you got was written
yeah.
by them,
Right.
and you
Because,
hate them. You know what
because,
I'm saying? You telling
because,
me like we shouldn't
yeah.
have no love for them, but
Right,
you
man. Come
love
on with
their
that,
word,
man. Come on with it. Marlon, do they even hear what you saying and how it's such a dagger? That's why I said people be watching these debates. And I ain't gonna lie, that's why I'm so glad Marlon called in first. Because he pointing out the fucking dagger. The dagger, and I even brought that up in a debate. I said, look, man, we talking about manifest destiny. That's the white man's authority when it come to anything. The fact that Captain Tazaryach won't refer to no sources outside the King James Bible and what the white man canonized, proving everything I'm saying in the debate, and Marlon is pointing that out to y'all. Guess what? Other people pointed that out. But do y'all get it? I want y'all to call in and let me know if y'all get it though, what we saying. You see what I'm saying? We talking
yeah,
about manifest destiny. Even the way that we look at the Bible is a result of manifest destiny, because they only gave us, for example, if Marlon bring up the book, because Marlon keeps saying the old Ethiopian Bible, but guess what, Marlon? Let's be a little bit more nice to them, Marlon. Let's just say if we just bring up the book of Enoch, they gonna look at us like heretics, right or wrong.
No, yes, that's fact right there, because that means that we don't need a church to walk right out of here. See
Because
what I'm
ain't
saying?
nobody
That's
asking
the
why
true
did the
advantage.
church.
Yeah.
But see, Marlon, not to cut you off. The point, what I'm saying, when you speak, when I speak, at the bottom line is this: ain't nobody asking why the hell did the Catholic Church remove certain books from the Bible? What is it about those books? If you go read those books, bro, it'll change the way you even think about spirituality and religion. And you ain't got to read them all. You can just read one of them that they remove, and you will know your pastor is a damn liar, right or wrong. If you read the book of Enoch, guess what you gonna know? You're gonna know that ain't nobody even supposed to even be believing in Christ. You're gonna know that when Christ was saying we gods, Enoch ascended up to the highest heaven like John, and the original teachings of Christianity was about you being God and about your soul inside the body passing through the earth realm. You used to be a sperm. Now you're a body. Your body, just like a sperm cell, is going to transform to some greater and greater and greater. They call it the stairway to heaven. Bro, when you start researching what the ancestors said about life and the universe, you leave the church and say, my goddamn pastor just collecting tithes. He don't know the deep shit about the soul's journey in the flesh. And that's why the Bible said in the book of Revelation, most of the people that's church members gonna go to hell with the Antichrist and the beast, and only a small number of people. He that has an eye, let him see. He that has an ear, let him hear. Why would the Bible say that? The people that wrote the Bible were not believers, y'all. They were knowers. They were Gnostics. That's the root word of know, which is Gnostic. Gnostics. We didn't never research this stuff. See, but if you talk like this, people will be like, what are you talking? Guess what, bro? This is knowledge they didn't teach us. But shout out to the panel. See, when I do,
kept bringing that
yeah,
Bible
go
up,
ahead. You go ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead.
also wanting to mention what gets lost in translation, what gets changed in
And
order to
that's exactly what we have to
see
talk
this.
about. Man.
Yeah, like now, if he was going to quote something from the other book, and he's saying like he's still, in tune with the greater than man concept, the what happened when God decided to wipe the whole. I mean, because shortly after those books, that time period, came the Great Flood, right? According to the new book. And in the new book, it just seems more like a fairy tale, because you try to figure out how, all the animals got replaced, and all the bugs and all the little creatures and stuff. It was all on one boat, so they wanted to start from there, but they always put themselves in as the image. So where the rest of us even come from? That's kind of stuff I would have been asking him.
Shout out to the panel, man. Shout out to bro and everybody, man. Yeah, thanks for having me on real quick, man. Appreciate y'all.
Shout out to my nigga AJ Davis. Hold on, AJ. I'm about to give you the mic, my brother. You already know. Shout out to Remember 444. Hey, look, hey, big shout out to Chief Ironbush, because Chief Ironbush, can you unmute for just a second, man? I want to give you like some flowers. This is needed right here. What I'm about to do.
Greetings,
Salute.
beloved. Balance and wholeness to you.
Balance, peace, and love to Chief Iron Bush. You know why I want to give you some flowers, bro? I was tuned into one of your streams the other day, bro, and you was saying something about how the word Barashit means be reset.
That's
See
correct.
what I'm
In
saying?
what they call Hebrew, which is actually Phoenician and later mixed with Canaanite, it simply means to be reset.
Yeah.
So, according to their cosmology, they be live that was the beginning of the whole world.
Mhm.
When we have artifacts going back 60,000 years showing
Come
that we
on.
were a matriarchal people
Mhm.
of great mother made a woolly mammoth tusk, great mother artifacts
That
going
nigga.
back 60,000 years.
Right.
Talking
And
about
they talking about this world's 5,000, 6,000 years old.
Mhm.
Come on.
Now, brother, what I will tell you is, salute right back to you, because I had both of my sons in the vehicle when we were listening to it. My eldest son he'll be 20 in about 60 days. My younger son is 16. So they listen when I put you on. They're around frequently, but they was in the vehicle, so they had to listen. So, I had it up, and I was hyped because I wanted to hear it myself. And brother, what I will say is the debate was over in the first 10 minutes.
get
It it
nigga.
it really it didn't even have to go beyond the first 10 minutes, because
Nigga.
once he came on and got into the whole antics of the pale face thing, the the spread in consciousness was just evident at that point. It was like
Facts.
it was like someone that had a doctorate degree going debating a third grader with their Dr. Seuss book, and the third grader just kept going, say, "Well, unless you can show me in my Dr. Seuss book." That's what it sounded like. And even that, my eldest son came out and said, "This dude is a captain of the Hebrew. It sounds like he should be a private of of the Hebrew Israelite." Because he wasn't even going, he kept talking about the book, and he wasn't even going to the right verse. If anybody really know the book, every little verse that he did bring up, you can find one that contradicts the exact verse that he brought up in
Yeah.
that book.
Yeah.
So every single thing that
That's
he
right.
did reference in the book, you can find a contradiction somewhere else. And then at the end, and brother, you literally, this is how cold you was with it. And I told my sons this too. You literally told the man what he was gonna do, and he
Yeah.
did it.
And he
Every
Bro.
did it.
single
He did it, yeah.
Bro.
He didn't break
Yo.
character. That's what I loved
Man,
about it.
listen.
Sanchez, you didn't
That's
break
how
character.
I know.
That was dope.
Come on,
That was
man.
dope. I'm
Bro.
sorry. That was
bro,
dope.
Bro. Iron
you
Bush.
literally
That's
told the
what. Come
man.
on. Come
You
on, bro. You
literally
saw
told
that.
him, and not just once. Every single time at the end
I
of your,
told,
because
bro.
you ain't even need to last like 2 to 5 minutes, but you just kept going anyway to throw the cherry on top. So you was like, you used that a couple times. I'm gonna use this last 2 minutes to tell you what you finna do, and he
Yep.
still did it,
Yeah, he didn't have
and he
nothing else
still did
though.
it.
Hey,
Real talk.
they so
And then at
fucking
the very end,
predictable,
and look.
bro.
And then
Yeah.
at the very end, what he tried to do, just like you said, he tried to pull the mirror out, and he was over there laughing with it on mute and stuff. He was like, "I won, I won, I won."
Yeah.
Just because you said you
No,
agree with a couple little angles, you wasn't saying I agree with
I
y'all
gave him
doctrine.
that bait right there. That was
You
a
you
little
didn't
bait I gave him.
you didn't say I agree with your doctrine.
Yep.
You said I agree with some of the things that
You
y'all
sit.
doing in the
Yep.
community.
Mm-hmm.
That's nothing. That doesn't mean I'm a, oh, there you go, y'all. You lost the debate.
Right.
And then he could not grasp the fact what you were speaking of about manifest destiny.
Come on,
He
man.
was literally reading off of Wikipedia and Google. This
And
man was
that's
reading.
and you know how you know that's true? Because I think that him reading off that fucked him up, and that's what made him interpret blackface as some literally.
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly,
Right.
brother.
Right.
yeah,
If you would have
got
just said
stuff.
something like the version of it, like he tried to obfuscate by you saying blackface and wanted to use that particular definition, but you could have just said the black version of it, or you could like, you know what I'm saying? Like he knew exactly what you was trying to say, but he
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah.
deal with it. He
Yeah.
couldn't deal with it, so he had to obfuscate, act like you was wrong for saying it wasn't blackface, and then, you know what I'm trying to say, but he just obfuscated. That's what I was gonna say. He obfuscated that way. He didn't have to deal with what you were saying. He knew what you were talking
Yeah.
about, bro. He knew what you were talking
Brother,
about.
And,
and you
yeah.
brought it out of, like you said, you literally set him up, because at the end you brought the root, the core of it all out, which is racism. It came
Mhm.
out, and it came out. I mean, he cut right to it. We hate all white people, but
Right.
but he admitted we asked who their fathers is, and this and that. And brother, and I agree with you with that whole kissing on the feet thing, brother. If you're my enemy and I hate you, you
Right.
ain't putting your feet, your lips on
On my
nothing over
nothing
here.
over here.
You
Come
ain't
on,
even gonna
man.
come
Come on,
near my
bro.
Hey,
family,
yo,
brother.
when I saw
Come
that,
on,
I was
bro.
like, what the what? I
Come
was
on,
like,
Brother,
bro.
He
yo.
was bragging
you
though.
ain't
He
even
was
gonna
And
come
they
near my
brag about it
daughter,
like it's
my
a
son.
flex. They
You're
swear
not
it's a
even coming
flex.
on my property, let
Come on,
alone
man.
kissing my feet, brother.
Come on, bro.
You can't even kiss my truck, let
That's
alone my
facts.
feet.
That
You
see, and see, this what I'm saying, bro. When we come with the smoke for the Hebrews, it ain't like nobody else because we ain't really picking on them. We ain't like everybody got their jokes and shit, but we coming. It's humor, it's fun, but it's facts. That's what make it so real, bro. Because like you saying, when you start to think about how they move, like they get a lot of respect. But if you think about why would you want your enemy to kiss anything on your body?
and then he tried to flip it on you about when you brought up like where the bikers at? Where the man with the white hats on and all that? And
Yeah.
here's the thing, this is how I know the gap in consciousness is so uh profound between you and him. He can't even, I know that if he just from the dialogue, he can't even conceptualize about black nobility and the hidden hand. You know what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying? About who is really behind the pale face that he's
Hell
talking
no,
about.
he can't.
He ain't even on that level where
The
he's even there
Bible ain't
yet.
gonna let them even go into those kind of joint, bro. You see what I'm
Fact.
saying?
Stuck there. They get stuck there. It's like, what the hell? You got
Yeah.
stuck there. It's like,
that
no,
book.
it's more information that you can read and research about. Like, what you're not what? He didn't get the whole blackface. Like Sanchez, you were saying it as again the holistic view, meaning all of these things that we've done in our society relates to blackface.
Right.
All that shit, all that
Well, he
oppression,
couldn't.
all of that, it's blackface. That's
I
it.
didn't
Because
mean to
watch
cut you
this
off.
right. I'm gonna show y'all some real shit right quick and why what I'm saying why it's a hot like it's a respect level like Chief Ironbush, right? When you have see Chief Ironbush is on some aboriginal shit. And so the thing is this right here. The Aboriginal Moorish side will go into the legalities, the paper genocide, the real history of our people. Whereas the Hebrew Israelites will try to make like we the Jews in the Bible, which is a fairy tale. That don't tie us to the land and none of that stuff. That's why I want to see. They don't want to go there. I'm telling you, bro. That's one of the biggest deceptions with the Hebrew shit too.
Bro, I can even tell you who brought that over here because I'm connected. I'm what you call Sagamore of the Lenape Hopewell tribe, which means I'm chief of one of the three clans. And Lenape is now called Delaware. It was originally called Lenape Hoking. And William Penn is the one that came over here and wrote a book saying that we was the lost tribes of Israel. That's where the whole thing started
See what
with
I'm saying?
William Penn. And
Wow.
See
they,
what I'm
I
saying?
guarantee he don't even know that.
William Penn. Okay, I think
I'm
I've heard
telling you,
that
like
before
the
too.
shit that you see, like if like if a nigga like me, Chief Ironbush, most of the people on this panel, like your Dan Callaways, your top cats, like we may not all agree on everything, but here go the real shit, how you separate the real from the fake. When a nigga telling you your history is right here where your feet at, that's a real one.
He's more
Fact.
likely to be Aboriginal than he is, Hebrew from Africa.
Exactly. And don't even know it because he placing all his chips on a book.
Mm.
And that book was written against him. It was written to control him.
Bro, that's they took that book to every land. I mean, the Romans was Roman. They roamed the land and they took their book and they have changed it 30,000 times and they did it on every land. Canada, Turtle Island, Iceland, Ireland, Sweden, you know, all everywhere, Africa, South Africa, West Africa. I mean, they done took it everywhere and they change it up and they make everybody think that that's who the book is talking about. So you got people in Ethiopia, no, we're the real ones. You got people over here, we're the real ones. It's just a worldwide psyop, man, and it's sad, especially where we're coming into this age of knowing. You can call it the age of Aquarius, but it's really just the age of knowing. We're coming out of the age of beliving into knowing. So it, unfortunately, I have nothing personal against that brother in some kind of animosity way, but he literally is the type of person, and they, I'm not speaking for every individual, but as a group, majority, they are holding people back. And that was what Brother Sanchez's whole title was, basically, that you are literally doing what the white man wants to do, but he needs you to get on the stage and do your tap dance so we can get this group of people to stay with this mindset.
That's called divide
Right.
and conquer. Divide and conquer.
Exactly. And he fell into it. His very last statement was like, we teach to hate all white men. But you just said that color don't matter, and there's all the Hebrew Israelites come in all shades. I know when people, I live it. Y'all see the shade, the tone of my skin. So I get it all the time, everywhere I go. Are you a real chief? And this and that. You know what I'm saying? So I live it, brother. I know all about it. You know what I'm saying? But he admitted that, but it wasn't even close, man. And then at the end, had the nerve to start laugh. The dude was started laughing this and that, and try to act like he won. It really reminded me of like a third grader debating a grown man. And I even told my sons, I said, at this point, I know Sanchez probably felt like just ending it because it just got frivolous. It got to the point, brother Sanchez, I know you knew that, like,
I agree, bro. I agree.
it got frivolous to like at a point where he just kept, just like I said. I mean, he probably would call you a prophet, but you was just that much more elevated than him consciously. You told the man what he was gonna do, and he did it time and time again. Every time he got the mic, he fell right into exactly what you said. I was bagging up in the truck with
He
my
could
sons, man,
he couldn't make an argument outside the book. You know what I mean? So
and he didn't even do that good.
yeah, and he when Sanchez broke it down, like why your God elevate the oppressor, you know, that part when he was saying why he ain't punishing them when they was way more brutal than the transgressions of his own people. Why he put them in charge of our discipline? He ain't had no answer for that.
Right. You see what I'm saying? Like
And look,
yeah.
my fault,
No,
Sanchez.
no,
Go
you
ahead.
got it. You got it. Go ahead. No, you got
He
it.
kept, and then I noticed he started quoting Christ. Well, they don't truly believe in Christ. They believe in Mashiach. The Mashiach gonna come back with a rod of iron to rule all the nations. That's not Christ. The Christos is the anointed one. That's and the Christ said, "I abide in you, you abide in I, and we abide in the source of
Yeah, come
eternal
on,
life."
condemn these damn Satanists. Because
Right.
guess what,
So
Chief Ironbush? The reason they shit don't align with Christ, it align with the Messiah, it's because they really worship the demiurge and they don't
exactly.
worship the consciousness. Christ ain't even a person, it's an archetype for higher consciousness.
Fact. That's a fact. And I mean, even in their own book, Yahuwah, Yahweh, whatever you want to call it, Enlil, it says, I create evil, but I form good. So
Yep.
it's basically admitting I can't make nothing good, but I can create evil, but I can form good. I
Hey,
can
guess
kind
what?
of mold it.
Hey, Chief, guess what you talking about? The Baphomet, which is the God that creates order out of chaos. That's the God that
Exactly.
says, I can't really make good directly, but I can make evil appear as good. Now, who watched that movie called Vampire in Brooklyn? When
Oh
Yep.
Eddie
man,
Eddie
Yeah, Eddie
Murphy
Murphy.
had
Yep.
all them Christians saying evil is good.
Good.
And you saw how he did it, how he convinced them of that in this same kind of way, like Creflo Dollar, like how these, like the synagogue is saying that the Bible condemned, but these niggas have got the whole world thinking like me. All of us on the panel are like the tinfoil hat Satanists and conspiracy theorists. We're really we're what Jesus would have been, because Jesus would have been going against the church, the papacy, all of the social norms. That Jesus would have been a tinfoil hatter or a conspiracy theorist.
Fact.
I
Fact.
got one for you. I got one for you, Sanchez.
Agreed.
The Star of David is a pentagram. All you have to do is draw a circle around it.
But yeah, that's facts too.
And they'll
you,
try to
yeah,
say that that's not their star and this and that, but King Solomon had temples of Moloch, Baal, all of them. It's
yeah,
all
oh
written
yeah.
right in their
Come on,
book. So
man.
that is one of their stars, so they can't deny it.
I be tripping on if we know this, why don't they know? But they don't want to know this though. They don't want to know this though.
That's what I be wondering. That's what baffles me as well. It's like you quote, you'd say line upon line, precept upon precept, but if you knew it, then how come you don't know that the verses that the little baby, and not to disrespect the brother, but they were baby verses. The little baby verses that he did spit, you can easily find the ones that go against it. You know what I mean? Like, thou shalt not kill. Well, the next 2 chapters later, he said, go kill everything with breath in 60 cities, men, woman, and baby.
Come
But
on.
then, but he said, keep. They said, oh, that's because they were so evil, though, that they had to kill. But if they so evil, why did it say, but save the virgins, the girls ages 5 to 13, and take them as your wives this night? Taking them as your wives is kidnap, pedophilia, and rape that same day. So that's the God you serve. And just like the people that Sanchez, you knocked it out the park. Just like you said, how come he not punishing the people that's doing wrong? The reason being is because the people that's doing wrong are the ones that are truly worshiping this deity correctly. They giving him blood sacrifices and all that stuff that's all through that book, that blood magic and sex magic and all. They doing all of that. And see, the people that think they the chosen people, so they're not doing it. So that's why they not at the top. They just want that. All they want to do is switch roles with them. It's all about rulership.
Cam up.
It's all
Anybody?
about rulership.
But see, Chief, I'm gonna show you some real shit, right? When people say, I'm a Christian, are you really? Because a Christian is a follower of Christ, and Christ was an enemy of the church and the state. If I can show where your organization is in the bed with the church or the state, you on the same people team who would have crucified Christ.
That's right. I always tell people that we know that Christ is an energy, but when you're talking to somebody who just becoming aware, I'll tell them, Christ was the most anti-religious person or persona that stepped, was 10 toes down on this plane. He was anti-religion. He wasn't. They say, oh, he's a Jew. He was this, he was that. My man was going against the top of the Jews, the Pharisees. They were the lead Yahweh.
Them your small hats. Them your ancient.
Exactly.
See what people don't know, Chief Ironbush. Let me show these motherfuckers something real quick. Now I got a screen share because they ain't gonna get it if I don't. Let's go deep with this shit because you cooking, and I just want to share them some. They don't know what the enemy look like, and I think this is a good opportunity to show them. So look, people, when we talk about the Pharisees and Sadducees, this was the religious order that was influencing the Caesars back in the day. And if you look at what that involved to today is right here. It is the small hats that you see got your president wearing a yarmulke kissing the Wailing Wall.
Yep. And that little curl they got coming down their head goes back. It's called the curl of Horus, aka the curl of Osiris,
Uh-huh.
because the person they called Moses was a high priest from what we call Egypt that just took a bunch of people out in the desert when a a catastrophe happened, basically a changeover event. Took them all out there. A whole bunch of people. It was all different. It wasn't just a certain type of bloodline. It was all types of people that was just running there, scattering everywhere. And he took that Aten worship and turned it into and integrated it in with
Mm-hmm.
sun worship in the whole. And you know that's how it all happened, pretty much.
And the whole thing about the Aten worship becoming sun worship, that's when they said Moses learned in all the way of the Egyptian. People don't realize Moses wasn't a Christian. He was a member of the cult of Aten.
That's right.
So Moses
Right.
was teaching Atenism, which what we would call Satanism,
Exactly.
which is why Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness. The serpent was Satan. And it was called what? The Nehushtan. And guess what? The Shtan at the end of Nehushtan, that's Satan name.
And guess
Shatan
what?
is Satan.
And
Christianity comes from Satanism, which is why in the church they said when the Holy Ghost take over your body, it's going to use your tongue and make you. That's called demon possession, sir.
That's possession.
Right, that's
right.
possession. Let's go. You got
and
it.
they put that Nehushtan in their temple for 700 years and burned incense and gave it blood sacrifice for 700 years after
Let's
that.
go. Guess what?
So-
you know what's crazy about what you saying, Chief? If you go up to a Christian and say, "Do you believe in human sacrifice?" They will say, "No, that's Satanism." But then I'd be like, "What was Jesus?"
Exactly.
And
Ultimate, yeah.
Exactly, man. And you know what? There's not one verse in the Bible where the person that we come to know as Jesus said that he was sacrificing himself for the sins of the world. He said he was paying the ransom.
Uh-huh.
And he said he came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Why would he have to come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel? Because they were those that were so far gone on the blood magic tip with this false deity god of this world, the Yada Bayoff demiurge, that they were so far gone that this man was literally trying to save, like help them, break the spell. And here is the what we call now today on Turtle Island, aka America. We call them they call themselves the Black Hebrew Israelites, and they are literally bringing this back. They trying to bring it back. They stay
But
under
look,
they've been on a 400-year curse for 6,000 years.
Talk about it.
It's so what? Now this go around you under the 300, 400-year curse because you didn't wear your tassels. Last 400 years because you had a cheeseburger. The last 400 years maybe because you missed the Shabbat.
Let's go.
You went to church on Sunday. Damn it! Now you got 300 more years of slavery under the white man. Like, come on, brother. Like you gotta get out your own way, man.
Hey, look, we gotta point this out, dude, because I'm gonna tell you how you separate the real from the fake. Remember when it say in the Bible, symbols will be their downfall, right? Now watch this. Here go the star of Remphan, what y'all know as Satan or Saturn, or what we call today the Star of David. Christians don't have a clue why the Star of David is associated with Christianity. It's so deep, bro, because David wasn't a Christian. David just David just like people gotta realize Christianity didn't start till Christ so-called came. But so what was the religion of Moses and the Abraham and all them? And they don't realize when Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, before Christ was on the cross, Lucifer was on the cross. The people was in other words, Gnosticism was symbolized by the medical symbol. Why do you all think Jesus is a healing God and the damn hospitals got the two serpents Now check
And
this
I
out.
tell you something,
Watch
finish it
this,
real quick.
Chief Ironbush. Watch this though. You said this, and I'm gonna give you the mic. You brought
All
up
right.
the two curls right here. You know what them two curls is the two serpents on the caduceus. Because look, I can show you this right here. Here go the serpent goddess. You see how she got a serpent in each hand? And before it was Christ on a cross with his arms open in between the two thieves, it was the serpent goddess with her arms open in between two serpents. And she had a bird landing on her head, which was the Holy Ghost landing on the cross. But the two serpents on each side of her is right here. Look, they turned that into a hairstyle. They embedded this knowledge, yo.
Yeah, and that
Into
hat
the
represents the bound god with the rings around Saturn and all that
right.
Abaddon and
Yep.
Apollyon. But
Yeah, man.
on the subject of David, right?
Yeah.
In the Phoenician, what they call ancient Hebrew language, his name was Duvud. Well, you know, over there they read from right to left. So when the Nagini people took it to where what we call the Caribbean area, Duvud became voodoo.
Come on.
So what David practiced actually was what we know today as voodoo, and that's
Yeah.
and same thing with Solomon. When the Nagini took it over to the Caribbean, it became Monasol. It basically that's just moon, earth, and sun magic, and you know with the it's basically astrology, but using it at a very high level to the point where it's divination.
And
You
check
know
this
that's what.
out. No, go ahead, Lang. You take
No, I
your
was just gonna
time,
say that's
bro.
what
Yeah,
the
give it
name
to him.
is. That's what Israel is. It's Isis, Ra, and El. Isis is the moon, Ra is the sun, and El is Saturn and all the rest of the
That's
wandering
facts.
stars.
That's facts. You know what? That's because the sun and moon is the polar opposites, like the negative and positive to a Taurus field. Once
That's
they
right.
get duality created, that creates so many layers of splits into like the different, just when we talk about the
Energies.
ethers, yeah, and that's the
Like the
whole
Elohim, the planets, the
right.
Elohim, the signatures, and the
And
Mercury
that's
and
why
Mars.
there you go, and that's why Isis and Ra come before El, which is like the plural Saturn concept.
Man, I like that. I like that right there. Yep. Once they
Mm-hmm.
establish that moon and that sun, that positive negative polarity, duality, then El can enter and
Mm-hmm.
run the show. And El is the ancient word for Saturn, and Elyon is the
Yep.
Canaanite word for the Most High.
Talk to
And
him,
it's
bro.
Saturn. And the reason they called it the Most High was because in the nighttime sky, out of the wandering stars, not the fixed zodiac constellations that spin fixed, they never move except when they're just spinning with the firmament. The wandering stars that we call planets, Saturn would be the highest one that was visible, so they call Saturn El Elyon, the Most
Yeah.
High.
Come on.
So even when people say, you know, all praise to the Most High, you might in your heart be talking about the origin of your soul, but vibrationally and frequency that's coming out of your mouth somatically, you're
Yeah.
speaking about Saturn.
You know what's so deep about they don't know that they speaking about Saturn is that when we talk about Isis and Ra creating El, that's no different than me and you saying that the yin and the yang created the serpent in the middle. When the yin and yang come together, they make this serpent that split both of them.
Bro,
And
and
so,
that story
yeah,
is in the Nag Hammadi. It talks about
yeah,
the two fish. They
facts.
call
It
that the
does.
two fish in the Nag Hammadi
Yep.
with the Gnostic text. Yep. So
And
you
when they talk
absolutely on
about the
point.
two fish, those turn into the two pillars, Joachim and Boaz in
Yeah, you
Freemasonry.
there. Yep. Cain, Kayain and Abba El. That's Yah and El. Yah and El both is Yah de Beov.
Yep, that's exactly what I've been telling them. And I can show, look, watch this right. Here go an image of Lucifer. Now, you know what's deep about this image right here? You know this was from Paradise Lost. Now, people may say, Sanchez, why that's important? Like, most of the literature that we get about Lucifer when it come to Because to me, like, we got to talk about Paradise Lost. Am I tripping? Because I've always incorporated Paradise Lost into my syncretism. But
Do
let
he
me,
got 3 people laying there on the picture? Is it 3?
I can't really, it's
I
so abstract. It's like
Yeah,
three
I
or
can't
four.
see it neither. It's
Yeah.
usually 3, and usually they got that with Abraxas as well in the
Yeah.
Baphomet.
That one,
What it
you
is,
right.
it's usually 3 people, and it started as the 3 Marys. So it was a representation of suppressing the triple black seed of the mother. And then it turned into like having dudes laying there and stuff. But the most ancient form of it is the 3 Marys that they say was the first ones that saw Christ resurrected. It was the 3 Marys. Well,
Hmm.
anything Mary means mother, like Sue, Maria. And you had a teaching,
Yeah.
brother, years ago
Because
about like
Mary is the Virgin Mary, Maru,
exact right.
all that.
And Sumeria, sum is the summit, and you
Hmm.
know Mary is of the mother. So before these Elohim Anuna came and hijacked it with their distorted masculine patriarchal energy, and that's all they're following. They don't even do they. Man, it's sad that they don't get it. Like, how do you not know at this point? You're a grown man and you're even 30s or 40s or whatever, and you
You
don't
know
know
why?
by now.
I'm gonna show you some. We look at biblical canon like the papacy gave us a certain set of books we can read. Those were the books that they revised and were able to tamper with to make us think that we need to believe on Jesus for salvation. But before they did all that deception, Jesus was an archetype that represented your kundalini rising up out of ego. When the Bible talk about escaping the bondage of Egypt, people don't realize that the word Egypt come from the word ego pata. So look,
Mm.
if you break down the word Egypt, the EGY is an egg, which is like a shell you in. The ego is like a veil covering you in ignorance, right? And watch this. Ptah is a potter god that gives birth to man, which is your higher self giving birth to your lower self, the body in the simulation, which is the body represent the manifestation of the soul's ego that got to be carried out. And just like a chicken hatching out of the egg, the soul got to hatch out of its own ignorance in the flesh to a higher plane of existence to even comprehend heaven.
Brother, I love that right there. And look, Ptah in the Egyptian language, right? Well, in Sumer, that was Enki. That was just the Egyptian version of Enki, Ptah, right? So then when the Greeks got it, they changed the word to Ptah to pater. And pater is the word that they use every time they say Christ says, my father. The original word in Greek
It's
is
pater.
pater.
And
Yeah.
listen, and then remember that the word pater is the root word of patriarchy. They just
Mm,
move the art, so you on point because the patriarch is the papacy, the papacy, papacy,
yes.
papa. You
Yes.
see,
That's
yeah.
right. And
Talk
the
to him.
Catholic Church, see, look, all it is the cathode and the anode. It's a battery. That's the archon system. So the Catholic Church is the cathode, and then they got Anu, and the Anunnaki is the anode. So one is the negative, one is the positive. You got people thinking the Anunnaki coming back to save them, and then you got people thinking Jesus is coming back to save them. So it's the positive and the negative, and then in the middle is the people that's the salt of the earth that's creating all the energy for these entities that you can call them archons, you can call them demons, fall, whatever you want to call them. It don't even matter as long as you know what they are, what they're doing. And they're using us as batteries, basically, because we're eternal souls. They're
Right.
not.
That's right. That's
They
right.
stuck in time. That's why they worship Saturn, because Saturn is what the
Now,
word chronos literally just means time.
mhm.
It just means time. You know, the father god that eats his own kids. That's
That's
what
right.
Chronos is, and that is where the whole sacrificing the son to the father comes from, and it goes back before Chronos, because Chronos is just Greek. It goes all the way back to the Jodish, the Jodish in the Vedics, and all of that. You know, so
That,
that
that
we
was,
talking about a story that's about 12,000 years old, man. It's just been told in so many different ways, and there was
Hey,
no
look,
book
hey,
in
Matt, when I
everybody's.
chime in on that, because like
can I say
that's what I
one
was talking
thing?
about earlier. It
Okay,
was the
go ahead. Yeah, Marlon.
yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Because everything you guys are talking about is a whole Greeks and their gods, Chronos, time eats man, Chronos eats man back. All of that is totally separate from the Bible being written over in Africa by Ethiopians and other.
But no, 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 no,
There
no.
are
Hold on,
other
hold
groups.
on, real
But
quick.
no.
Okay,
I
my
know. Let me
bad.
just land plane,
Land your plane.
then
You
break
right.
it down.
Got
So
it.
I'm saying that's the separation I put between the King James Bible and the original Bible, which was the Ethiopian Bible.
Yeah.
So they had a whole these things probably going on at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like in
But see,
different
you
places,
cooking, Marlon.
different
I'm just
religions.
trying. I'm trying to throw you. See, cause I see where you going. You on point. That's why I'm pulling these up. Right? Who remember the story of Pangea? See, here's
Uh-huh.
why they scared
Yeah.
of the Ethiopian Bible, y'all. The Ethiopian Bible literally speaks of creationism. It don't speaks of in the beginning there was a self-created God that spoke everything into existence. That's the demiurge. Watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what we said earlier with the now let's go back to the etymology. The word father is the word pater, Phater, right? Let's do some etymology real quick. The word pater is the word pater, Pater, which remember Saint Peter, Pater, right? The word Peter turns into patri, which is the root word of patriarchy. Are y'all still with me?
Yep.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So watch this, right? Remember that the word patri, when we say petri dish,
Mm.
Oh
come on,
man.
let's talk about Pangea. Life is a germ dropped in the middle of a petri dish, expanding outward. I'm showing you the image right here. This what they call in the Big Bang. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's
watch
the
this.
matrix.
You feel me? And if you look at this sacred geometry of how germs expand from the epicenter of a petri dish, you can see what the god Saturn became and why the god Saturn and all of the artwork had the word pater or father above his name. He's personifying a petri dish. If why you think Saturn is a god that's represented by one eyeball? If you look at a petri dish and you drop a germ in the epicenter, all of the veins and what we call magnetic ley lines on the flat earth will expand from the middle of that petri dish outward, just like I'm showing you right here. Look at this. Now, look, when you
That's
look
a
at
good
this,
one right there, brother.
oh,
That's
bro,
a good
check this out. I know it's watch this. Look at this image here, and let's go to the AE map, which is the flat Earth version of the universe, and you can see how from the middle of the think about it. All our world is mostly water. That's like the serum to a petri dish. The ice walls,
Mm.
Antarctica is holding all the ocean waters in. This is a big petri dish, but the word petri is the word father. Father dish. This is another way of saying Yahweh's terrarium or the
one.
Saturn, the god of the ring, or the lord of the simulation, right? Anytime you drop a serum into a petri dish, you're running a simulation or an experiment to get to get an alternate form of life, to try to see, for example, all of the ancestors looked at the earth like we're inside of the island of Dr. Moreau. Your body is like an experiment that spiritual creatures ran on themselves, and the mutation of the soul was the formation of the body. So, in order for you to see what you really are, which is the soul, the body has to die. The body would be like if I created a clone of one of you niggas and your soul was in the clone and the clone was saying, this ain't the real me. And I'm saying, no, you're a clone of yourself. Your body is a clone of your soul. And in order for your soul to awaken, your body got to lay down. That's the paradox of this whole simulation.
Brother,
For
You literally just told the whole story of the big head Yaakov, Dr. York narrative.
You got it. Yep.
So that circle would be big head Yaakov. The germ was what he got from Esau. The story is he went to an island with the germ, placed it in the middle, and then created going outward and created this race.
Yes.
So that you literally just told the same narrative that somebody like Dr. York in the Holy Tablets and all that said. You just said it in a easier way in a quicker way to understand it.
And
So
this
all
right
of these
here
stories,
is what
that's
this
synchronicity.
So when they say that God separated the waters from the waters, the God that they talking about isn't the creator. People got to realize something. They ain't gonna understand that we saying. Let me say this. A God isn't the creator. You got many gods, Mercury, Venus, Saturn. Gods is a see, the creator is one thing. The creator is responsible for the creation. The gods represented the many different archetypes and energies that steered man's behavior within the creation. So for each planet, Mercury, Venus, Mars, it'll break down in astrology as a certain energy that's controlling you, which is why people say, hey, on this day, you're going to act like this because the way the stars align, or hey, your zodiac make your energy this way. There's some truth to that, right? Because the stars are stargates, they're energy vortexes. The reason they are able to influence our behavior is because if you understand that what they call chakras are really the stars revolving around all of us, which is why the ancients said we're in the middle of the universe. That'll get you killed back in the day. If you teach a person, hey, the stars revolve around me, think about it. Guess how you perceive reality. Every day you walk outside, the sun and moon are revolving around you.
Fact.
It's almost like the earth is a stage and all the stars in the sky were created just like spotlights for a comedian on a stage to assist you. This teaching would have got you killed by the church back in the day, saying that we're in the middle of the universe and I'm God and the star. They would have said that's ego problems. Your ego big, you need to put him to death. That was the whole Crusades.
Exactly.
The Gnostics were put to death for teaching that we're in a simulation and every human is in the middle of their own universe. Put it this way. When y'all go online and you have a gaming community, everybody in their own house, but they sharing the same online space. I'm in my house, you in your house. The ancestors said every human is in their own cosmic bubble and all of our bubbles are interconnected for internet online. They said you ain't never really touched nobody. You ain't really, you like sleep hooked up to a machine like this, experiencing a dream world. And when you die, you're awakening from this shit like Neo in the Matrix. That became the story of Christ rising above. See, all of this shit was about people teaching us that the earth is a simulation and that your body is an avatar in a video game and your soul is what's gonna hatch up out of this shit when you breathe your last breath. Yeah.
Well, look, in the Bible, right, they say that them stars and them planets, and the Bible says they're the windows of heaven that can pour you out a blessing, right?
Yeah.
But the word blessing is really be blessing. And even in the Phoenician, or what they call Hebrew, it's Barak or Baraka, like Abara, Ka, Dabara.
Yeah.
That's where they get it from. Barak.
That's,
So
hey, that's fire.
So
yeah.
the word Baraka literally means to bend your knee. So you become less so I can become more. So when it says the windows of heaven going to pour you out a blessing, it's saying the windows of heaven, these energies are going to make you bend your knee. That's when people say, oh, Mercury's in retrograde right now. You're bending your knee to them lights up there. Your whole life is...
That's why they edited the Bible to take all of that action you're talking about above,
bro, I go with
and bring
all
it
that
down to earth.
Yeah.
They bring
Y'all
everything down to a king. You know what I mean? So that they take that power over man.
Fact.
I think that's really cooking too when we
You know
talk
what?
about
Yeah, it is, AJ. For sure. Go ahead.
when we talk about why would they hide what we live on and change the astronomy and all that shit. That right there sounds like that's right up the alley right there. That makes sense, especially if you telling
Yeah.
me that they put your ass to death if you teaching that the stars are
Yeah.
revolving around you. If you go
Mm-hmm.
with that, they will put your ass. That makes sense why they would change
Hell
the
yeah.
whole shit. You know what I'm
Well,
talking about?
Hell yeah.
also
Yeah.
ask yourself this: why does the Vatican have a bigger telescope than NASA called Lucifer? They have
Mm-hmm.
the biggest telescope on Earth. The Vatican does.
And you
So
know
that
what's
tell you.
but
And the
Chief,
biggest wallet.
I want to answer that question right now. Now, a lot of people may give me pushback on this one. It's only going to make the show better. Here's what I'm going to say about all telescopes because I own one. A telescope don't give you no magical information that ain't nobody else got. Let me say that right now. Because the Dogon tribe know more about the sky than Sanchez, and Sanchez got a very expensive telescope that the Dogon tribe can't even afford. Can y'all track with me here? I'm
Fact.
gonna say this
Yes,
one
sir.
more time because niggas start getting their ego out of place with technology. I know when a nigga go spend $10,000 on a telescope, you can't tell him shit. So I just want to tell this brother something, that there's nothing you're gonna discover with a telescope that a dude in the jungle with a bone in his nose without one don't already know.
Fact.
It'll blow
Fact.
you the fuck away when you realize all of our anthropologists with these big budgets are just finding out shit that people in the jungle been knew for eons. And they tell you, how did they do it? How do we know it? How did the Mayans know all? They go into, let's play dumb now. Let's go mystic on how did the Mayans know all of this? How did they make calendars that's better than ours? Nigga, they was smarter than you and you don't want to admit it. And the people that going back and go subscribe to what the ancients was saying, them the people they gonna laugh at the most, but them the people making the most sense, y'all. Just like Jesus was crucified, laughed at, but he made the most sense over the Pharisees and Sadducees and Neil deGrasse Tysons and Bill Nyes and all of them of the fucking world.
Facts.
Hey, bro, because hey, salutes to everybody, man. You know, when you got a telescope, it only show you more in depth what a thing is, show you what it is. It don't tell you what it is. So just by you seeing what it is, ain't finna give you no information on what it's really about. And then, man, when you was building on that word Petri, it you struck me, man, because Petri, right? That's the word father, and then Petri is the root word of petrified, and
Right.
they say
Yep.
to fear
Talk
the
to him.
father, and then to be petrified is to be
That's deep
like,
shit right there, Key. I ain't
Turn into
gonna even,
stone, ain't it?
nigga. This nigga Key
yeah,
got the Holy Ghost right now.
Turn into
God
stone.
damn, boy. Hey, look, that's some real shit, bro. You going real, you getting surgical with this shit.
to be petrified is to be frightened that one is unable to move or
Yeah, bro, and you ain't gonna get
change
nowhere when you can't move. Come on, talk to him, nigga.
move, man, because that one God that's the Father, and it also says
Bro,
to be changed into a
bro,
stony
watch this.
subject.
Watch this
Turn
while
into
you
a
going
stone.
in so deep, nigga. Think about what a predator do to a prey. It scared them to a point where they have this little slight hesitation like a deer in the headlights.
They be
And
shocked.
and now that little second gave me the edge, and now I got your ass.
So look,
Because yeah, go ahead. Oh yeah, you cooking, yeah.
when a predator and a prey, right? So the prey is what? It's food or fuel, right? So Petri is also petro. You the gas
Come
and the fuel
Come
for
on,
Ooh.
this
man.
whole
Come
thing.
on, man. Bro, what
Fact.
y'all, and
Damn.
you know what's
Damn.
crazy? You're not gonna get these kind of decodings anywhere. It ain't like I'm being egotistical. Everybody on this panel don't even agree with everybody 100% on everything. But the thing about this community, everybody know when they come over here, the only thing that's gonna be valuable over here is what kind of intellect you can contribute to the bill. So that's
Exactly.
but that makes this shit over here really it puts the pressure on you to come with your syncretism on point.
And that's why a lot of people they don't get down with you, Sanchez, because most of these other I don't want to accuse them of being in the what we like the official boule, but they acting boule-ish with their whole
You
little
ain't telling no lies, Cook. Yep, you got
with
it.
their whole little circles. If you ain't in with their exact narrative, you
Mm-hmm.
can't come with. You
You
can't
can't
be
come.
on their
Mm-hmm.
page.
They
You
ain't
can't
trying to
go
hear that
because
shit.
Well,
listen,
they locked in. That's a cult. They locked in. You know,
a
they scared when you shake their establishment.
a
Yeah.
chain only touches at one spot, so we only need to agree on one thing to connect the chain. If we agree upon on everything, it ain't making a chain. We welding a piece of metal together. We need a chain to go across this thing, across this grid. So
Man,
we
come
only
on.
need to link at one spot. We only need to agree on one thing. That means we have agreed upon, we made a connection. That's it. We don't have to agree upon everything and build the Tower of Babel going upwards. We need a
Yeah.
chain going across, connecting everybody.
That's what
And
syncretism
see
does. That's what
the thing
syncretism does.
about what's so
Syncretism.
deep about what y'all saying, Omar, is the chain that connects us going across also help us go forward like a school of fish that's
Mm.
connected horizontally and vertically, how they make this like barber pole shit with their whole formation. That's deep right there. But let me pass it back to Omar real quick.
Yeah, they don't make the connective fibers is what I get really mad at that. Like it's syncretism. Like all you have to do is connect what the symbolism, connect all of it together, and you'll be able to see how these changes have happened within
Yep,
society.
you
It's
will.
because of they have one agenda. It's one agenda, and that's called blackface. That's the fuck it is. Okay, and then okay, everything else after that is whatever it is. But
It kind of made me feel like a lot of times it's hard to find someone who really wants to have a sincere either debate or back and forth with you. Somebody who really wants to know. When somebody is stuck in a belief, they're not really trying to hear what they don't want to face the other information that they might not know or know kind of deal, right? And it
Yeah.
seems like it's hard to find someone to even have a conversation with when it comes to that because they're not going to ever be sincere. They're going to always confiscate and not want to answer the question and not think about it to really, you know what I'm saying? Because if I feel like I'm right and you trying to tell me that I'm wrong, I want to know how I'm wrong. If you please tell me how I'm wrong, right? And I want to know the information that the way I could be up on it, right? But it
Right.
seems like when you have conversations with certain kind of people, man,
Yeah.
it's not sincere because they don't really want to know. They just want to be right. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
That's kind of
Yeah,
how I
that
see it.
And
part. No, that part right
you know
there.
how I can agree
That's
with what you
Tazaryach.
saying. You know how I can agree with what y'all saying about Tazaryach, because I've been there. But you know why I'm able to admit that in front of everybody? Because everybody know when you become a flat earther, your ego had to get pushed so far aside for you to come out and say, look, man, earth flat. Yep, everybody on that side, but I'm on this side, and I know because think about this, right? Now look, I'm showing images right now of the flower of life. Look at these images on the screen. I'm just gonna give you an example of what I'm saying. If you look at these images and you go back to what I was saying about the AE map, which is flat Earth, you can see what I'm showing you here. You can see how the magnetic ley lines come from the North Pole. Now look, this image here is the Schumann resonance. Do y'all see that there's a human face at the middle of this
Mm.
ripple effect?
Man,
Mm.
let me
Wow.
Come on, man.
part, yeah. And the other one got a face.
And this
It
right
might,
here,
I,
is the science of electromagnetism that even a flower is based upon. But check this out, right? They turned this into the god Saturn, which is a dude surrounded by a bunch of rings, but it was
Mm.
teaching about this right here, what I'm showing right now. What this shows is that the real you is at the North Pole. That's why that face is at the middle. And all the ripples around you is your aura, your human aura, your chakra layers, which are the egos, the layers of the self. And the middle you can't be born until the layers around you fall off like snake shedding its skin, like cracking an egg to let the chicken out.
If you
Yes.
look at the one in the middle, you can even see the Masonic signs, and that was, you know, going back. Well, the real Masons go back, you know, 5,000-6,000 years, you know, back to Samaria. But you know, you can see the Masonic symbolism in the middle one as well. But they probably wasn't even they didn't call themselves Masons. You know what I'm saying? It's just the people that call themselves Masons hoarded all this and try to take it from us when it's our information. It all came from us. So right now we just remembering. Remembering is becoming a member again of something. A member of what? With the real you, your soul. What Sanchez just said.
Yeah, that's facts. Hey, let me say this real quick to everybody in the chat, everybody on the panel. We about to enter an exciting part of the stream now. Well, first, let me say shout out to my sister Demi for joining once again. I see you, Sister Demi. How you doing?
Peace. Thanks for having me on. Peace panel.
All the time.
Hey.
Shout out to
Bounce
Rhett
on it.
and Wisdom Thought.
Indeed.
And to the new people joining out. And then also, let me do this real quick. I just thought about it. Let me drop the link again. Does anyone else want to hop on now? I ain't going to drop the link too much, but watch what we about to do now. We about
Brother
to
Sanchez,
hop over. Yeah.
My 4-year-old daughter just came out, so I'm gonna have to hop off the panel, but I'm gonna still be rocking with you, brother. But I just want to say love, balance, and wholeness to you, brother. Salute, and love, balance, and wholeness to everyone, the panel, and everyone that's here right now.
Yes.
Same to you, brother. Thank
Indeed.
you for
Likewise.
joining.
Peace.
Appreciate that.
All right, love y'all.
Hey, Sister
Likewise.
Sister Freedom from Unscrambled Minds, we gonna mod you up because we already know who y'all is, and we ally, we rock with y'all, right? So shout out to y'all and to Sister Freedom. And we will also drop the link one more time. And this is what we about to do now. We about to get into the official panel review of the actual Tazaryach debate. That was supposed to be a 1 hour sort of intro, but it turned out to be an hour and 40 minutes. But let's go ahead and play this. Y'all can hear it.
All right. Once again, we are black. I mean, we are back. But anyway, Sanchez, let's turn that camera on, brother.
Yeah.
Let's get this thing going. Man, this is it. Enough of the tough talk. We are in the building, the toughest environment to be in, the debate coliseum. Nepal, I hope you sent Judah Naz the link so he can see what's going on. Make sure Judah Naz is in the building. Captain pulling out that hard liquor. Hey, Sanchez, he got that hard liquor for you, bro.
Now, you know what's crazy about this old debate? There's a lot of people in the chat room that's like, Sanchez comes off immature and all that, right? But Captain Tazaryach showed up with hard liquor and was thinking that when I was saying that the Hebrew Israelites are the black face of manifest destiny, that I was literally talking about the practice of blackface, which is what white people do when they paint their face black. And I wasn't talking about that. I was saying that the shit that the Hebrews teach makes them the black face of a white message. Now, if you thinking on a drunken level, like how, cause I can drink but still be intellectual. Like, nigga, you can think, oh, if I get Sanchez drunk, I'm gonna win a debate. Bro, my mind never stopped being sharp. My mind never stopped being sharp. You think you got me cause I had a beer or two. Nigga, you'll find that shit ain't do nothing but enhance a nigga. This shit ain't really no hard task for me to be deep and intellectual. It's just who I am.
Right.
So if you trying to do that shit, then beer might throw you off. But nigga, this shit just who I always been. Let's
What you
watch
say?
this.
It ain't on you, it's in you. What you say? It ain't on you, it's
It
in you.
ain't on you, it's in you. It's facts, AJ.
Bro,
Hey,
that's how
that nigga said,
Yeah, they always used to think that back and be like, yeah, he drinking. I'm finna get him. I'm like, shit, bro, go in, man. Drink some more.
Mm-hmm.
And like you
Freestyling
said, it
and
wasn't
all
really
that.
that hard. It wasn't really that hard. And like I said, anybody with any kind of some level of intellectual, and you talk about maturity, you know, the fact that he kept taking the blackface the wrong way, it just seems, you know, you can't be that dumb. It seems insincere
It
to
was
me.
Yeah,
You
intentional.
yeah,
reflecting,
yeah.
It
bro.
was
You know what I'm saying? You know
And
exactly what
that's
that
why I
man talking
wanted
about.
to ask y'all, bro, do you think he was literally drunk or was the bit? Because to me, him showing up with the liquor was like, if Sanchez mopped the floor with me, well, I can blame it on the alcohol. Like,
The
uh,
nigga, the nigga was literally dumb.
okay.
You sunned him the whole goddamn. You, he was fucking stupid.
Yeah,
one
because
thing I'm gonna be honest. We got to be honest. That is not a stupid guy. He jumped in the
He can
nearest
play
foxhole,
stupid,
and
yeah,
yeah, man, he jumped in a
Yeah.
he can
foxhole,
play
and he would
stupid.
knock, he'd poke his head up and and duck back down. I
see, I
mean,
didn't see the alcohol at first when I watched it, but I did see him
He
take.
didn't. Sanchez sunned him from the rip.
See,
Like
yeah,
from the title.
he took
just
Like Sanchez,
and
you sunned him from the rip, dude. Like in other
yeah,
words, so I didn't come into watching the debate because I thought you was actually talking about fucking blackface.
Mm-hmm.
I I I didn't come into the debate that way. I
You
mean
already knew but yeah,
what the fuck you was Nick, man,
yeah.
he's stupid as hell. I'm done. Bye.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I feel you. But you know, you'll be surprised how many people thought I was talking about literal blackface because look, and you can't, and then they tried to blame it on the way I worded the title. Let me tell you what the title was. The title was, "Are Hebrew Israelites the black face of manifest destiny?"
as long as you separated those two words, like the black
Yeah, but
face.
literally the answer is yes. You can answer it in one
Well, I
question.
know
Yes.
I know, I was there. But what I'm
I'm
saying
sorry,
is,
I'm done. I'm
he
sorry.
re- he
did both.
refused to separate the two because he knows the doctrine he's preaching from.
Right.
It
Right.
Okay,
fit.
is their doctrine. So no matter how you go around it, your Israel, all you did was what Sanchez used to call chocolate coating
Right.
on doctrine, and made it your own
Either
and
way,
not
he looked.
theirs. But how they gonna write a book for you
He gonna call it
to hit them?
nigga riding it. What do you say? He could
Yeah,
he
that part.
you nigga riding blackface. I don't know what he said. Like what does that even
Bro,
mean?
we finna. This is what we about to do. And, we gonna play this and read some of the comments. I'm gonna play it in fast speed though. Salutes to the panel.
Look at him. It's on.
This brother already. You drinking before the debate? Okay.
Oh man. But anyway, it's on and popping today, brothers and sisters. Thank you, Sanchez. Thank you, brother Captain Tazaryach, for coming through. And of course, I am your host and moderator for this debate, Captain Tazaryach. Let me put this title up there so everybody can know what's going on and what is the title of this debate, so there can be no mistakes. All right. The title of this debate. Here we go.
Now this right here gonna dictate if Tazaryach was playing a role or not, because now Sa about to go into the title of the debate and do you understand it? And if because I ain't watched this since I did it, so I don't even know what's happening. But I want to see if Tazaryach gonna comprehend the title. Cause if he do right now, then that let me know later he just playing dumb cause I'm winning. Y'all feel me? So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Bro
he's
Sanchez.
Sanchez, may I say before you do it, look,
Yeah.
the Sarnetta backed you up all the way, bro. That's how I felt the whole way from the start, from right where you about to go. He was like, "No, this is the title. This is what we talking about."
Yeah.
And so don't be
Because I
don't
know
be confused.
Sarnetta understood it. I know he
Yeah,
understood it.
he. Yeah, I'm
just
sorry. I agree
saying,
with you. Go continue with your show. I agree with you.
For sure.
Go.
And Sanchez is the challenger. Am I correct in this?
Yeah, but I didn't mind if he wanted me to go first. I didn't mind
Okay.
going first.
Are the Hebrews the black face of manifest destiny? If y'all don't know what that means, Brother Sanchez is going to break all of that down for you. Captain Tazaryach is here, and we're going to go in, man.
Like, and just one more real quick. I liked it the way Sarnetta did this debate because he said, even though he understood where I'm coming from, he said, look, I'm going to let Sanchez still break it down for you and shit. So,
And this is going to be one that y'all don't want to miss right here. And so how we going to do this? We're going to break it down like Brother Sanchez in 5-minute opening. I'm giving you both of you 5 minutes opening. We're going to have 2 10-minute rounds. And then the third round is going to be the back and forth. I'm going to let y'all go in back and forth and then 5-minute closing.
and to everybody that's just joining, I do have a debate with Tazaryach tomorrow at the House of Consciousness. I do debate tomorrow, a new debate, brand new debate with me and Captain Tazaryach. So make sure y'all check up with that one. This is an old debate. I'm just promoting a new debate. Let's go.
And then we are out of here. So we're going to get this in early so we can have the rest of our...
Somebody was speaking?
Yeah, I said, what time is the debate start?
Oh, it's 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Got it.
day. And is that good? Are there any questions from either one of y'all brothers?
No,
I'm good with that. Yep. I think
Okay,
Sanchez
all right.
agreed to
So,
that, so we're good to go.
All right, let me get this clock set up and let's get this thing started.
Sanchez, you was cool with me going first?
well, I'm the challenger, so I wanted to kind of let you know why I chose
Yeah, that's why I
the
said it's up to
title, all
you.
that.
Yeah, I didn't have a
Yeah,
problem.
Yeah, I wanted to go first if that's all right. But you now, if you
No,
just
that's fine.
wanted to go first, I'll be nice and but yeah,
No. I was good because you was the challenger. It was really your option. So I was offering to go first. But if you say you want to go first, you can go ahead and go first.
Yeah, that way I can lay the premise for why I chose the title, all that and stuff. So
Okay, that's
right. That's powerful.
And I'm glad and shout out to Tazaryach and Sarnetta. That's some real shit. Because he ain't give me no pushback. He said, look, this man made the title, then yeah, so if he want to go first, I ain't gonna make that no biggie. So shoot, good, cool. This was actually a good professional debate, man. Salutes to Sarnetta and the HOK.
Let me get this.
Came a
Hold on.
long way.
Hold
He
on.
came a long way. I see Sarnetta. He didn't came a long way. He's definitely
Yeah.
opened it up to more what he used to be. You know what I'm talking about?
He have. I salutes to him for sure. You know, and I think that the new Sarnetta gonna be more about bringing people together with discussions and conversations than bringing them apart with debates, because we tried that, and it's like I saw him when he had Brother Rich over there, right? And believe it or not, I respect Brother Rich, man. I respect, like, I don't go after Billy Carson because I hate the man. I go against him because I hate his stance on certain concepts. And people may misconstrue that, like wellness and health to that brother. But the thing is, when it comes to certain stuff he's saying, I'm going to intellectually go against that like we banging. You know, and that's why I like the HOK with Sarnetta, because he understands that in men and try to create a way where they can get that out. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Shout out.
Shout out to him. OG Sarnetta.
When you hear this sound, that's your time. Or you might hear the music coming in. That's your time. All right. That's the time right there. All right, time will start when you start, Sanchez. This is your 5-minute opening. You got the floor, brother.
What is manifest destiny? Manifest destiny originated in the 19th century, yet the concept behind the phrase originated in the 17th century with the first European immigrants in America, the English Protestants and Puritans. The word manifest destiny is the concept of American exceptionalism. That is the belief that that America occupies a special place among the countries of the world. It is the belief that all of the lands that the colonialists conquered and captured, it was God's will that they conquer those lands, because those people were evil. Those people didn't worship the true God. They will have different reasons to why those. Don't you know that the debate is over already? Now, how many people on a panel know the debate over already? Because
nigga, I was trying to say that. That's what I said to you. That's what I said to you, Sanchez.
Right. You
Before the buzz
look,
kicked in on the Jameson, it was already over with.
You cannot have colonialism without the idea of colonialism. That's just period. That's what the fuck,
bro. It's crazy how over the debate is, because it's like once I define what manifest destiny is, it's everything the Hebrews be saying. And he know that. That's why throughout the debate, he had to go into the blackface shit. Like, maybe he talking about blackface. This Jameson whipping my ass. Good shit, bro. Good
Hey,
shit.
Sanchez.
Yeah.
Every time, this is what you should have done to him. Every time he went to pull out a scripture, you should say, "I know, no white folks in this."
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Facts.
you hate
Was
white folks. You
basically,
said it yourself.
you know
So
what I'm
no, no,
saying?
no. You got to use a book from the brother. You know,
Mm.
and how is he gonna make that a book from the brother? Because he
He's
hate
not.
white folks.
He's not. Yeah.
There it is. There, it's
Idea.
debate over.
And I ain't gonna lie, Sonetta showed when he presented this one, he moderated that shit. He played the background and he let two titans go at that shit. And to me, bro, this was a fire debate, man. Which is why I said we need to show up for tomorrow's one. Because, bro, like I said, everything is just gonna evolve and get better and better, man. You know what I'm saying? Theology, which held that the United States, and not just United States, different countries have their form of it, but that colonialists have a divine right to expand their empire. At the time, they was trying to expand it westward. And this another thing I want to say real quick, and I swear I'm gonna play the video. A lot of people in the comments who follow either me or Sa, you can't really go by what they saying to say how me or Sarnetta feel, because both of us are gonna have like diehard fans and shit. And when you have real diehard fans, anybody Sanchez go against, fuck that Sanchez. Them niggas the ops, rather I say no matter what I say. So Sarnetta got people like that too. This was influenced by the Bible's themes of a chosen people and a promised land. All right. And also, just another way you can look at it, it is the belief in the inherent superiority of white Americans, as well as the conviction that they were destined by God to conquer the territories of North America from sea to shining sea. Now, this is what they teach. But what the Hebrews teach is that the reason our people are oppressed is because we was disobedient. That means that everything that the white man doing to us, that the colonizer doing to us, that's our fault. For being disobedient. If I was a white colonizer, I would love a black group that's teaching something like that, because that'll wash my hands cleaner to say, hey, man, y'all want to stop being oppressed, right? It's something you guys did that's the root of your oppress. So you don't got to rise up against the white man. Guess what you got to do? Work on yourself. Now, you can't work on yourself because the oppressor has and I don't want to go too deep into my arguments right now. I'm going to show you why it's a contradiction, but I just wanted to open up and give you a explanation of everybody was wondering why I chose the title, that the Hebrews are the black face of manifest destiny. I believe that if a white man tried to say the stuff that a Hebrew saying, he probably get beat up, especially if he in. Y'all here. Now, you know why I'm pausing it right here? Because a lot of people who are diehard fans of Captain Tazaryach was saying, I can't tell who won this debate because the title is tricky. Did y'all, whoever watched this debate and read the comments, y'all know that a lot of imposters was trying to blame the semantics on the title when we made the title clear in the beginning right here. And even Sonetta is saying, okay, yeah, I totally get what he's saying, why they the black face of manifest destiny. It's not like what Drake did when he painted his face black. You know what I mean? In New York somewhere, in Harlem somewhere. Because check it out, right? Imagine a white man saying, black people, the reason you hanging on them trees, your babies was tossed to alligators, the reason you was castrated and lynched in the street is because you didn't follow the orders of God. That's you. Think about that now. So the Hebrews are teaching black folks were slaves, we were tortured, castrated, beat down during the Willie Lynch time, all that, because we turned away from God. And you know what I'm saying? If I was a white man doing all the lynching to black people, I would like a teaching like that, because it ain't telling black people you went through all that because this group of people was evil as hell, right? Think about this. If Sanchez go in his backyard and I capture a grasshopper and I set that grasshopper on fire and torture it. And when someone say, why did the grasshopper have to suffer like that? Somebody else say, well, the grasshopper wasn't doing right. The grasshopper wasn't worshiping the right God, so he went through all that torture. Versus the grasshopper went through that torture because I'm a sadistic motherfucker who decided to set it on fire. So now we're gonna
I gotta
victim
laugh
blame,
with that.
right? We're gonna victim blame now and say that the slaves hung on them trees because they turned away from God. But the people who hung the slaves on them trees, they was more evil than the slaves. Let that sink in.
Then the grasshopper. Then the
Right,
grasshopper.
right. You get
It's create a scapegoat mentality to the people.
Question is for the teachings of what they do teach. You know, I know you said that you agree with some of the things that they teach. You know, you black men out here, type of shit, right? But the question is there anything a person can do if it's God's will? If it's God's will, right? Is there anything that I can do to get me out of that suffering? All right, or is there nothing I can do? You know, like, are you teaching people when you say if you
I
teaching
don't think
people
you. I don't
this?
think you listening.
What I'm saying is, if you teaching people what, this or that, or how you should move, is there anything they can do, or
Again, I don't
are
think
you
you
going
listening,
against?
man.
Are you going against
So
God's will? Are you going against
Oh
God's
yeah,
will?
yeah.
let me tell you something, right?
Let me make.
He
I
ain't
want to
listening.
answer that. I'm gonna answer that because I agree with Redden, but I'm gonna say this right here, real quick, right? I don't teach people how to move because
No,
if I
no,
teach them, yeah, you want to go interject? Go ahead.
no. I just was saying with what they're teaching, with how they're I guess trying to build an army, or teaching people how to move. You know what I'm talking about? But is there anything a way you can move if it's God's will that you're doing the things that you're doing?
So listen. I don't really prefer to focus on how the body's supposed to move. I rather focus on how the mind's supposed to think. Because listen, AJ, if we can all agree on how the mind's supposed to think, then the body will follow. I don't got to try to have these deep conversations on how to control the body. Once we create conversations that makes the mind rise to a higher level, you understanding my approach?
I definitely get it. What I was trying to get at is that by them teaching this, what they teach, are they going against God's will? As you also mentioned in the debate, I do believe. Are they
Hold on.
are they
Do
going
you heard?
against God's will
Can
by
I can I
bringing
ask you a
someone,
question?
trying to bring someone out of it? Is my point.
Did you hear what he said about God's will?
Bro,
Did
it
you
becomes
did
God's
you hear
will.
what he said about it? Yes or no?
When they manifest in their destiny, that's when it becomes God's will, bro. You ain't listening.
No, I ain't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it ain't even the fact that you saying
And
God's will.
that's facts. Like both of y'all on point, Retton and Key, because what he need. I don't know if he know this, but what I'm saying is the will of God, according to these guys, the will of God want the most righteous people to suffer the most.
No, that's what people don't get. If somebody can tell you who your God is, then you are not in control, and that's the problem. They are still allowing themselves to be told what that word God is.
Even in the book of Revelation, it say when all of the plagues and judgments come down from heaven, it's gonna be really affect the saints more than like the prophet and the false prophet, the antichrist and his followers. They gonna be balling out in these times. So, but I'm just saying, like, you would
Saints
think
have
that,
more responsibility.
right? But you would think that, like, the God of the Bible would come back to the earth and punish the rich and the famous, versus the people in church every Sunday that's been. Think about it. You in church every Sunday waiting on God to come back, and when God come back, he start beating your ass versus your enemy.
It's funny. Nah,
That's
it's
a
funny
good
that
way to put it.
Right.
yo, it's funny that you brought that up. 'Cause I was just thinking about that. Like, yo, look how they brainwashed us with the Bible, where they had people in the Bible. I mean, had people in the church, and then the KKK come in, start don't you feel me, burning stuff up. It was like a whole psyop, yo. My fault for some cutting you over, but in facts, it's the same thing.
No, this is a think tank,
Can
man.
I
Salutes to
chime in on
everybody.
that?
Yeah, yeah.
Can I
Didn't
chime
they
in on that? Because
didn't they
Yeah.
whenever
bring
you was
Where
so
AJ at?
Right here. Right here.
just
Right
real
here.
quick, just
I'm
real
about
quick, I'm gonna chime in on what he just said right quick.
Real
With the
quick,
church,
gotcha.
in like 2
that's how
seconds.
they came in with the hate
Key gonna go next.
on
Yeah,
the
go.
church. How they came in with the hate on the church was just telling you the truth about them. Like that book don't really mean shit to them.
They
As
made the
long as
church.
they
They
ruling
made the
over
church
you.
though.
Right. But they still come into the church, burn the church, burn little
But they
girls.
made the church though. What?
They
Why you
made this.
even in the church?
Wait. They made the church for you. You're not understanding what Sanchez's point is. Manifest destiny. They made that church for you. That church to hold you down. That church ain't to lift you up. So if they'll still go in and burn a church,
Me and
how
you
can
saying
they
the
say
same
that
thing,
the
bro.
church mean that?
We
Saying
saying
Let's
the
the
do
same
same
this
thing.
real quick. Let's
Okay,
do this real quick.
my bad. I
Everybody, hold
misunderstood you.
on a second. Everybody hit pause and let's do this real quick. Bam.
It's your fault. If a white man say that to a bunch of black people, it'll hit different.
And then let's unpause when we reach a point in the debate where we want to discuss.
That's why I said if the Hebrews do it as black men, it's totally fine. But if you imagine a white man saying that, we would say, bro, that's racist. That's manifest destiny.
If a white man walked up to you and said, listen, nigga, the reason you suffering is because you didn't do right with God, you would say this is a racist ass white man. But that's what the Hebrews do. They don't say, listen, black man, you suffering because there's a group of people that's literally evil. They like their babies in Ethiopia suffering because of these people. They didn't do nothing wrong. You got babies in Africa, they rib cages showing because of global supremacy. I said global, because of world supremacy. Right? But my point is, you will say, you will victim blame. And I'm saying, well, what about the newborn baby that's suffering? What they do wrong? And guess what the Christians will say to you? They people worship voodoo gods and satanic gods, and that's why they suffering too. They have to make an excuse for why. You see what I'm saying? So this is what this debate gonna go into, why I said that black Hebrew Israelites are the face of manifest destiny, because a white man can't tell you you hung on them trees because your ass fell away from God. I'm gonna say we hung on them trees because the people who hung us on them was evil as hell. We was minding our business. But they would like you to think the reason you went through all your turmoils because you didn't do something right by God. And my thing is, the people that took us through all of that, they didn't even believe in God. It's like this. The people who hung us on them trees, they were more evil than us. So when somebody say, well, you hung on them trees because you was evil, well, the white man that put me on that tree was way more evil than me. Why would God use a motherfucker that's more wicked than me to punish me for my wickedness? You ever thought about that? Let's go.
And it's manifest destiny. This is just a simple opening. I'm going to expound more on my opening throughout the debate to double down on why the Hebrews are the black face of manifest.
Remember, they'll tell you that the Indians had bows and arrows and the white man had rifles. Now, who more evil if you can think of a bow and arrow versus a goddamn rifle? So everything they say is a contradiction, because it's like, well, y'all suffered because you weren't doing right by God, but yet the people who rule the world don't even believe in God. They blaspheme God. Let's go.
It's destiny. Thank you.
You have 2 minutes and a half left.
Again, like I said, God gonna get Jeffrey Dahmer to whoop your ass for eating people. Think about that.
Okay, I'll use those 2 minutes to say that I'm going to prophesy that Tazaryach throughout the debate is going to try to bring up a bunch of things that the Hebrews doing in the community, which is neither here nor there when it comes to the debate title. I hope he listened to what I told him. I told Tazaryach why I chose that debate title. I chose it because they teach that the black people are the cause of our own oppression. You're blaming the victim instead of the victimizer. I'm sure y'all brothers do good things in the streets. I'm not saying that you pushing quite manifest destiny because of your actions. I'm saying you're pushing it through your speech, through your ignorance. Come on now, bro. I'm very clear. I ain't saying you pushing manifest destiny through your actions. I'm saying you're pushing it through your ignorance. Let's go. Your message. You're giving the slave master a way to be scotch-free on it and putting the blame all on the victim instead of the victimizer. And like I said, I'm going to expound on this too and show y'all the hypocrisies and contradictions. But I'm going to tell you, Tazaryach not going to deal with that. And that's why he going to lose the debate. And I'm telling you now. And guess how he not going to deal? Watch this now. I'm going to show you how I'm a prophet. It's 12 minutes into the debate. Now the debate 2 hours. And I told you what Tazaryach was going to do right now. I said Tazaryach not going to deal with my arguments. And I didn't know how he was not going to deal with it. I just knew he was going to find a way to not deal with it. I'm a chess player. And guess what his way was? To make blackface like some literal. Like I was talking about people painting their face black.
Everybody on the panel knows that. I knew that from jump, Sanchez. I'm telling you from rip. It was like, this nigga is, oh, you really stupid. I'm sorry, sir. This was the best debate I've seen in a long time. In terms of what we do, like intellectual debates. Nigga, I'm sorry.
Facts.
He had him when he backed him in. He painted him himself into a corner.
He just showed that it's levels. That's all. And he ain't
didn't
on that
have
level.
no
It's upstairs.
he
He
was
can't come
disarmed.
upstairs.
He was
That's all.
disarmed because he was like, okay, all I got with me is the people I hate's book. Okay, how you gonna start the fight? How you gonna fight back from this? You got to change the subject. He was painted into a corner, backed into a corner.
I knew that.
He couldn't do
I
nothing.
said, look, the way, you know, when I say I'm a chess player, it's because this. When I say the Hebrew Israelites are the black face of manifest destiny, when I go into some of the stuff they teach about victim blaming, that's exactly what the slave master would tell you on a plantation. It's God's will that you picking that cotton, nigga. It ain't the fact that the slave master just is an evil motherfucker who got a sick belief, right? Is you did some. That woman shouldn't have had that short skirt on. That's why she was great. See, we gonna victim blame now. It's something you did wrong, victim. And then my thing is, my wrong, what they accusing me of is not doing right by God. When if a dude throwing babies to crocodiles, torturing women, castrating men, how can that be more evil than me working on the Sabbath or not doing certain Hebrew rituals like wearing fringes and shit that they say? So let's play this. This is crazy. Why I know I'm going to win this debate, he should have never chose this title, y'all. Even if you Captain Tazaryach friend, I'm sure you told him, why the hell did you choose that title? I was shocked when he agreed to it. Now, and you're going to see why. Throughout this, so I ain't gonna lie. That little laugh Sarnetta just did let me know he got a history of this debate shit. And Sarnetta a chess player. See, he a New Yorker. He play chess. So when I said that, you heard Sarnetta, right? Let's play the video. Debate. There's no way he can win. And when I win, I will let it be known. Mainly, it was due to him choosing that title. I'll admit that. This title was a trap for you, dog, from the jump.
All right, man. Sanchez opened up for 5 minutes, Captain. I'm coming right over to you. The time will start. When you start talking, you got 5 minutes in this opening round.
Salutes to Captain.
Sorry, good question. Can we present screen in the 5 minutes, or are we just talking? I'm cool either way.
You can present the screen if you want to. If that's how you want to open up with your 5 minutes.
Show three slides.
Okay.
I just want to present first, and then you know what? I'll do it without presenting because I'll be like him. So I'm gonna go ahead and start now. So I'm not gonna share my screen. All right.
All right.
I'll be like him.
He's right when he said, my friend said, What made you choose this debate? He's just wrong with what they said. Because all of them feel like this is a weed conversation. All of them feel like this is a cat that is clearly only on the internet only and not outside.
Now watch this, right? I'm gonna show y'all something about Tazaryach, right? Here's the thing. He don't know me personally. I don't know him personally. He don't know what I do outside the internet. I don't know what he do outside the internet, right? Now listen, here's how, excuse me. Here's how you know who's the intellectual guy. And remember that the word intellect is the root word of intelligent. Now watch this. The intelligent guy shows up. He don't judge his opponent's character. He assumes that he don't even know his opponent. He just shows up knowing his opponent's stance on the argument, on the debate topic. You get what I'm saying, y'all? So now, right, if I don't have any sustenance or intellect when it comes to the topic of the debate, then I will have to put a person's character on trial when that ain't really a debate. That's a crucifixion. We showed up to hear two people to go back and forth about a topic, and right off the bat, Tazaryach is omitting himself from the topic by saying, look, if we can't find Sanchez anywhere outside the internet, he already lost. Now remember, the debate ain't about who's doing what in privacy. It is, are the Hebrew Israelites the black face of manifest destiny? So anybody that's even prying into what I'm doing outside the internet, why did you show up for this particular topic? That ain't it. You all outside, you all over the goddamn place, as they say, right? Because the topic is, are Hebrew Israelites the black face of manifest destiny? Now, if Tazaryach wanted to have a debate about who's doing what in privacy when the cameras ain't on, I may agree or not agree to that debate, and we can show up with smoke about that. But he agreed to this title, check. But if a person know they ain't got no real smoke with me on a title at hand, they will try to win a debate that we ain't even having, nigga. And anybody that's foolish enough to follow them will say, like some people said in the chat room, I can't rock with Sanchez because he just on the internet like they know me. Whether I'm just on the internet or not on the internet. You know what? If the leaders of the past had the internet, they want to be dead right now, stupid nigga. If Martin Luther King can do his I Have a Dream speech from the comfort of his goddamn garage, he wouldn't have a bullet in his head, nigga. Come on now. We say technology here to make shit better for us, right? But then when I say, hey, I can show that you niggas full of shit from the comfort of my house, you want to know what I'm doing outside my house. Now I'm on trial, not the topic at hand. Check, let's play the video. You got to keep that in mind, people. That's a tactic.
Side. For you to pick a title, so we look up the term blackface. Blackface in its definition says a dark makeup worn to mimic the appearance of a black.
And if a person don't like what I'm saying, just remember this. When they put their knee on George Floyd's neck, they didn't make it about what the officer was doing was wrong. They tried to say, well, George Floyd was a criminal anyway. No one, he was on drugs anyway. Fuck all that. Let's talk about justice. Was the cop right? It don't matter if a person a prostitute or crackhead, your knee on the neck ain't right, right? But in America, people will overlook that and say, well, that nigga was a piece of shit anyway, because in America, it ain't about what's right and wrong. It's about judging a motherfucker when Jesus said, let the man that ain't done that throw the first goddamn stone. Because, nigga, everybody got some. If a person say, well, George Floyd was a goddamn crackhead, right? You may got somebody in your family on something. Does that mean they shouldn't get treated right by the police? So that's the same thing. Like a person like Tazaryach may say, well, fuck what the police did, right? It's about George Floyd's character. That's the approach that the ISUPK take. Because what'll happen is you will show up talking about the law, about injustices in America, and they will say, well, niggas ain't shit no way, you killing each other. Think about this. Am I telling the truth or not? Don't racist white folks say this. When a police kill one of you niggas and it ain't justified, guess what the white supremacists say? Y'all kill each other anyway. That ain't got nothing to do with the fact that the police was wrong, motherfucker. You see what I'm saying, y'all? So I'm telling you, it's that same mindset with these Hebrew niggas. They are the black face of manifest destiny. They like Uncle Ruckus in black skin, nigga. When you really think about what these niggas saying.
Hollywood.
Right. These niggas you'll show up to debate them about something they teaching. And when you get them in a corner, they'll start to, but black people ratchet anyway. Look at Sexy Red, man. Look at this nigga right here and that nigga, man. And bro, you stereotype, and all of us ain't like that. So you telling me God gonna destroy all of us because what the fuck Sexy Red doing? But see, that's the same slave master that told you suffering because what Adam and Eve did, and you weren't even around in.
Black person.
We got to find a way to blame the victim for why he hanging on that tree and why that dog getting sick on him and that hose pipe from the fireman. See, you see what I'm saying? We ain't gonna talk about the fact that you treat these black people like that is satanic. You telling them what they was doing was so wrong that God got to allow a motherfucker that will torture your baby. Think about what we went through. See, it don't make no sense. Like I said, they the black face of manifest destiny. Let's go.
And especially to mock or ridicule black people. The wearing of blackface was by white performers was from the early 19 through the mid.
Y'all see how he opened up showing that he's not gonna deal with the real topic,
Just
right?
reading shit. Just reading shit. Dude, it's about feeling. In other words, I'm sorry to cut you off, Sanchez, but I understand what you're saying. In other words, nigga, you just reading. I know you're reading shit. But the reality is, in my everyday life, when I walk and breathe and do all the things I'm doing every day, I can clearly see there is a blackface mentality from the other motherfuckers. That's not my motherfuckers.
Hey,
that's it.
Context.
You know what?
Right here, all about context, and he reestablished. Sanchez reestablished the context. So I know this man is smart enough to adjust. He has no ammo.
Hey, let me give a shout out to the supporters and sponsors of today's show. Let's give a shout out to Jay Scarra. He says, salutes to all my Gnostics, flat power. For show love right back to you. Shout out to Marlon Wells. He said, Sanchez wanted to debate because Tazaryach never engaged the topic because it disarmed him. I want to stop right there and then I'm going to read the rest of the super chats. I'm going to show you why this super chat is why I won the debate at 15 minutes in already, because Tazaryach is tricking y'all. He's trying to make the word blackface literally mean people painting their face black. And you know why Tazaryach doing that? Because I hate to say this, I hope he don't get mad at me. Bro, you was too lazy to research in context. I'm telling you that the Hebrew Israelites are the black face of manifest destiny, which means y'all are black guys saying something that a white man would say, not that you're painting your face black. 15 minutes in, he's misinterpreting the title, and people may ask, is it on purpose Or is it he drinking that liquor now? What's that green bar? What's that shit he pulled up?
Nigga, but everything from the beginning of the whole debate, bro, it was you. I'm sorry, you were stellar in this bullshit. I'm sorry if we wouldn't have called him.
That was a cop out, man.
Oh,
He just used that to
Like
try to
the
make it seem like
fuck,
he didn't know no better
nigga.
because he know he lost.
Mm-hmm.
but
He lost.
that nigga had the nerve to pull out a belt at
So he
the
like,
end.
oh, that's what you was talking about? I thought, see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he
Like you
pulled
trying to
out a
take that
belt.
route because you was done in the first 15 minutes. The first 10 minutes, he was done.
Hey, y'all, any of y'all ever run across a video in the in the interweb anywhere where this cat went into the ring and got knocked out, like literally fell out of the ring and then got up and walked in like the fight was about to start. And the ref said, nah. Any of y'all seen that one? He got knocked out of the ring, literally. And he got up and when he started walking back into the ring, it was like he just got there. He was that's what this is. It's like he totally missed the point. Oh, no, he's running. I'm
I think
sorry.
he's running.
I
He
was
don't
wrong.
want to
He's
deal with the
running.
doctrine. He wants to deal with the semantics of using the word blackface. And if he
Right.
was intellectual enough and was really sincere enough, he would have dealt with, okay, why are you calling it? Why are you calling what we teach manifest destiny? I mean, it's easy. It's simple. You're trying to say that it's black people are teaching manifest destiny rather than what we understand that comes from the so-called white man who's the one who teaches manifest destiny, and y'all doing it for him. So I mean, anybody who ain't even really that even know what manifest destiny would understand what he's trying to say. You know what I'm saying? He just don't want to deal with the whole doctrine. That's what it is. He don't want to deal with that.
Because the Bible is his only ammo. The Bible is that's it. That's it. That's it for him. He ain't got nothing else. He got that book. But then when he realized that's what we talking about, he out of ammo.
Well, he ain't got no ammo
He
then.
don't got that. Yeah, he don't got no ammo. So what he gonna do? He gonna run. He
He
gonna
running
try
around
to.
like the book of Eli.
Yeah, like we all know what Sanchez meant by what he said, and then he had to say it again for him. This is what I meant by what I said, and then he still went on a tangent in the wrong direction. And now, how is that genuine?
I'm so
It's
happy
not
that Sanchez. I'm so happy that Sanchez stayed on
on
cue.
point.
Like I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't want to. I don't want it to make it seem like I'm simping right now for Sanchez, but it just makes sense.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell
What
you
you
something,
mean?
Omar. Omar, I can vouch that ain't the truth. You giving an unbiased perspective of a battle, and this literally
Mhm.
the honest take on what happened. Like it ain't. This literally what happened, and it's right here.
Nick, I'm
Right.
proving that I watched it
Long
and that
tape.
I have
It's
my
long
feelings
tape.
upon it. Like
Yeah.
that's what I feel. It's not no you smash the shit out of his ass based on intellectual reasoning and everything that we do in terms of physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. What the bye?
And be honest with you, man, I was kind of let down because I was hoping he was gonna maybe say something maybe about the something where I'm misunderstanding. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping he was gonna break down
He's
I
the
know
gonna
what you
doctrine of
elaborate.
mean.
why it's not.
I know what you mean.
And he didn't give nothing about it.
You
He just
know
was
why
going
he
in on
didn't,
the
AJ?
blackface.
Because he made up his mind. You just hit it, AJ. I was finna tell you that, and you said it before me. Because he made up in his mind in the beginning, I'ma play dumb and act like he's talking about literal blackface. Yeah.
Exactly.
Sanchez, he
That's my
came in
point
the
exactly.
room
Yep.
celebrating. He
That's
came
facts,
in the
Renton.
room celebrating. He opened the bottle before y'all even said a word to each other. He came in the room celebrating and still left not knowing he lost. He just, living on,
Oh, he
past.
know he lost. Trust me, he know he lost.
You know he lost.
He probably do.
But see, it
He
wasn't
probably
even
do.
about. See, this was one of those things where I think the captain was like, I don't gotta do much to convince my core audience to still
Right.
fuck with me, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. He
Right.
Well, the fuck
surrounded
he
himself.
did. He did have the view. I guarantee you,
He
he lost half of his
He,
motherfucking audience
he,
listening to his bullshit.
Nah, you be surprised, man.
underestimated you.
You be
No, he
surprised what
underestimated.
somebody can do with just a couple of big words and read something off a book, and you make people say, "Oh, man, you right." You know what I'm saying? You be
That's
surprised
horrible.
Chris,
with
That's
people that are
horrible.
not
That's
real
horrible
deep
as
like
hell.
that.
Yeah. That's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, he official because he pulling out the white man book. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to keep reminding me. Who book is that? Who edited that book? Who took 22 books out of a big book, a collection of books?
Not even that. Not even that. Not even that. Have you read the book? Do you understand the book? You know what I'm saying? Because you can make people read something, right, and make you and you can interpret it and make them think it means something else.
That's what the black church do. Watch this real quick, right? Let me give a shot. I gotta read the rest of these. Y'all cooking. Let me do something real quick. Just my 4 cents. ISUPK is a 501c3 group, so they are controlled. Now listen, I'm being so merciful on Cap. I ain't going into that, right? Because I can like go into the state shit and like how
that's major evidence, though.
I can't really, bro. Like, but
that's
you know,
major, though. Where do you get a 50c3 from?
I know.
I was sick about how much you didn't go into nothing, Sanchez. Like
I
you
ain't wanna
literally
do him
didn't
like that
you
because
like
look,
you wasn't doing
listen,
him
let me
like
tell
that.
you
Like you,
something.
I was like, what
I
the
know
fuck?
a lot of niggas got 501c3s. Now check this out, right? If you try to tell them that when you bring your religious organization into bed with the state, that this is the same institution that crucified Jesus, or you see what I'm saying? Because there's like they don't want to go there because it's listen, that's a whole listen, I ain't gonna go in that tree. That shit
That's
right
what I was
there.
trying to
No,
say
I
earlier.
will
Also,
because it
that'll
is
get
exactly what it is. In other words,
you.
they're trying to hide the fact that religion and politics are fucking in bed together. That's the
that's
Religion
another
and
point I was trying
politics,
to make.
church and the state in bed. You got it.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Control. It's all control.
That's why I
That's
was
the
also trying to say
papacy.
the
I'm
That's
not
what
going.
they said, a
I don't have no
synagogue of
problem
Satan.
stating the fucking facts. No, that's what it is.
No,
to
it
me,
is
the
though.
other contradiction
No, it
was
is.
what I was trying to mention earlier. If you teaching people to go against the white man, then you teaching people what they're doing. Then you're teaching people to go against God's will. That's what I was trying to say
Yeah,
earlier.
that's it
You know what
though.
I'm talking about? If you
But
teaching
that's
people to
another
go,
dagger. Look, what you saying, AJ, was
Don't help
another
him.
dagger in the whole debate how I killed Tazaryach. Because check peep game, right? When Tazaryach and them say the white man was given permission by God to basically torture black people because we turned away from God. Then they turn around and say,
You left out
God,
one part.
watch this, right? Then they turn around and say, God gonna come back and beat the white man ass because of what he doing to the black man. That's a contradiction because it's like, didn't God contract the white man's work? God basically said, look, I want to beat my people's ass because they ain't listening, but I'm going to get the white man to do it. But these same people telling you that will turn around and say, but God gonna punish that white man for what he did to the black man. I'm like, wait a minute. The white man was just doing what God told him to do to the black man because they
That's
weren't
why they can't
obedient.
see blackface. They can't see blackface.
Right.
That's
There
blackface.
you
That's
go.
literally
Right.
blackface.
That's why he
I
had to
got a
play
question.
dumb from the jump because he knew it was checkmate from the beginning. Any nigga that know how to play chess, I believe Tazaryach realized after he accepted this debate that the way I worded the title was checkmate off the bat.
Nigga, if I play him in chess, it'll be over. But as soon as he sits out of the table, that's
No,
what chess players say. Nigga, you was wrong when you sat down at this table. Nigga, you're wrong. Period.
You know
you
what he
see on
should
my,
have did?
you see on
He
my
should have
picture
said,
what
you
I
know
see.
what, Sanchez, we got to change that title because it's so much in my favor. Everything you teach is what the white supremacists teach. They teach black people at the bottom because of some divine intervention working against black people because they're cursed. Something they done wrong. And y'all literally teaching
you
it.
couldn't have chose a better title. Said sorry. I literally clicked on it because of those two phrases. Blackface and goddamn
Manifest destiny.
Manifest destiny. Right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The fuck? That's literally the only two reasons I clicked on it.
it's damn near not even a title. It's damn near a statement. To be honest with you, I'm like, you can't even deny it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even really.
But he looked at it, and he looked at it as an easy out. He looked at it from Tazaryak's perspective. Oh, this an easy out. All I gotta do is tell him that you don't know what you're talking about, niggerizing shit. this means this and that means that, and then okay, I
Yeah,
won.
yeah.
I
It's
mean,
That shit ain't work.
that's why he broke out the alcohol before he started engaging.
That
Hey,
shit ain't
you
right.
know what's crazy though, bro? It's crazy that the white man can set a tone with the words of the book, with the scripture, and then a nigga come behind him and take his own interpretation and do the white man's job for him. That's
Yeah,
crazy,
buddy.
bro.
Listen, and
But
Key, not
here's
only
the
that,
ironic
he
part.
will put
Here's
that
the-
shit on steroids, right? Because the white man will be like, well, black people at the bottom because they practicing paganism and all this voodoo and witchcraft shit. And then the Hebrew will come along and be like, he would literally paint a picture for you of what that would look like. So the white man is vague. Like he will tell you there's a baby in Ethiopian suffering because they worshiping the wrong God. And ain't no other name you can be saved under but Jesus. And if you're worshiping all these voodoo crazy ass gods, then that's why you going through that weird shit. But see, the white man won't tell you he's over there poisoning them people.
That's true.
Facts.
That's them. Problem creation solution. In other words, you create the problem and then you motherfucking are the solution. That's easy as hell. That's cyclical. That's
That's what the
fine.
jab was all about. The jab was all about. That's the story of the jab, right there.
They
What
got
you
to
just
sanctify
story of the jab.
you to sever you from your body. They got to sever the hand from the body in order to petrify it. Man, that's crazy.
And let me give a shout out to Music 2277. He said he never kept on your topic of the debate. That's facts, Music. And Just My 4 Cents said legally as a 501c3 group, ISUPK can't turn down a homosexual from joining their nonprofit. So what they
Wow,
say
that's
is fake.
facts.
Ooh.
Yeah,
And,
that is
and
facts.
No, what I was saying is I'm gonna pause you because that's me. I was saying that's me. That's me. That's
oh
what I was
yeah,
saying.
that's just
No,
a
I'm
shout
saying
out to
that.
you.
Mute.
Shout
Thank
out
you.
to everyone's
Thank you. Thank you.
intellectual opinion. Let me say also, shout out to Sister Freedom, Unscrambled Minds for becoming a new member. And listen, all of these super chats have some, bro, y'all are coming in the super chats with some real fire. Let's drop a bomb right quick. And then let me say shout out to Sister Freedom, Unscrambled Minds, for becoming a new member. Yo, I gotta clap it up for it. I respect what the sister do. Salutes to her. Make sure y'all sub up though to the sister and follow her. She have platforms and very great content. So salutes to that. Shout out to Astro 40K. He said when logic and facts is 100% of the debate, Sanchez winning every time. Facts and salutes to the panel and chat. Flat motherfucking power. Salutes my brother Astro. Salutes to Astro. And he said that dude Tazaryach was looking spiritually lumped after that debate. I'm going to check it out. Now, I don't know if we're going to make it to the end of it, but we're going to play it. Shout out to Dantana once again. Much love, bro. He said, I love it. Dantana said, I love it. I was an Israelite for over 15 years before I left them. Too many contradictions and too much misguided hate. Bro, tell me that ain't the truth. Come
That is
on.
fact. That's why I left. That's why I left. You know, it just made me feel like they turning me into something I hate. I'm gonna hate for this reason, but then worship in the same way. Like I'm gonna be hating on people for what they look like. You know,
How does
felt
that
like I was going back.
I don't see that as any different than any other religion. All of them are the same way.
Yeah, what's
That's a
crazy?
problem. Because listen, if Hebrews are saying that their religion is exclusive for black people, it's the one, it's the end all be all that's going to get us there. And you're saying it's no different than any other religion, then they're just chocolate coating the Abrahamic faith, like I've been saying.
Yeah.
started in the 19th century.
That's what you started out with, and that was dope as hell. I was like, nigga, that's what y'all saying, that my God has chosen this particular group of people and nobody else is included. Okay, so then what the fuck?
This would be easier to take
It's
if they
easy
had
to
gone
debunk
back.
it.
You know, I mean, as far as the Hebrew Israelite thing would be easier to accept if they was going back to the original Bible and reading from that instead of rather the edited version.
You know what kind of gave me a kind of thought when I started understanding some of how the religious and how it worked. When I came to the conclusion that, especially in the Bible, that when they speak of God, God is a dude in there. God is a dude who's telling people how he want them to move. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't
Yeah.
the God. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the creator. It's a dude. You know what I'm saying? That's how so many things end up getting so like misconstrued and contradictions, because it's a dude in there. It's a dude in there doing that. That ain't God. That's a dude that's running shit and telling people how to move so we can control them, type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you
People don't
seeing what
really.
you seeing in your head, in your mind, you seeing the dude that edited it. You know what I'm saying? You seeing that dude,
Let's check this out.
the editors.
Okay.
I just want to present first, and then you know what? I'll do it without present because I'll be like him. So I'm gonna go ahead and start now. So I'm not gonna share my screen. All right.
All right. Let's go.
All right. He's right when he said, my friend said, what made you choose this debate? He's just wrong with what they said. Because all of them feel like this is a weed conversation. All of them feel like this is a cat that is clearly only on the internet only and not.
Matt, you talk about a dude that
Oh,
is.
when he said that, I'm sorry. When
Hey,
he said that, I
yeah.
wanted to flip the fucking. I
Right.
want you. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to deal with this, Sanchez, because I wanted to lose my mind because he said that.
And you know, off the back is straying away from the topic of the debate and now put me on trial when he the one showed up with a bottle of fucking Jameson drunk.
Right.
But
You
let's
know
He
what?
say weed.
continue.
Did he say weed like smoking weed? Did he say
Right.
that? Man,
And he the one showed up with a think about this now. Weed come from the earth. That
man.
bottle, listen, that bottle of liquor he got come from the same white man that he's condemning. So that bottle of liquor he got is named Jameson, which
Jameson.
is the white man that he's saying is the enemy and a Jacob and Esau and all that. He putting that in his body while telling me I'm smoking the weed which come from the goddamn earth. But let's continue.
He ain't even
y'all.
get no
Man.
corona. He ain't even get no corona. With
He
that
got
would
the
have been a little bit
Right.
acceptable.
He
You
went.
see what I'm
He went
saying?
to the. He went to
Backwards
the
is it.
courtroom with that.
Right.
He went to the courtroom with that. When you ain't
Fuck
got the
that
truth,
herb.
what you
But
got to
you
do if you
showed
ain't
up
got the
to a
truth in
debate
court?
taking
Which-
shots of motherfucking Jameson. I showed up sober and I'm not even smoking a blunt during the debate. Guess what, y'all? During this debate, I wasn't drinking or smoking. This man showed up drinking, not only drinking, but some heavy liquor. Even Saw said, damn, nigga, you gonna open a debate with heavy liquor? Let's go, though.
Not outside.
Yeah, I
For you to
appreciated
pick a
that.
title. So we look up the term blackface. Blackface in its definition says a dark makeup worn to mimic the appearance of black.
And what's so crazy that the liquor he drinking made him misinterpret the whole title for the whole debate. Anybody that go with this man is agreeing with drunkenness, not comprehending, ignorant, stupidity. I'm just not, bro, I gotta say this, Cap. This was a horrible performance. Let's play the video.
Of a black person, and especially to mock or ridicule black people. The wearing of blackface was by white performers was from the early 19th through the mid 20th centuries, a prominent feature of minstrel shows. And I'm gonna show this in my presentation too. It says a similar forms of entertainment featuring exaggerated and inaccurate caricatures of black people. The use of blackface.
Watch what the liquor about to make Tazaryach do. Because I had to go handle something that was serious because you know, even though we live, it's a debate shit come up in our life. It's just a little minute where I'm stepping away. But when you drinking that liquor and that alcohol in your system, watch what Tazaryach do to me in a minute.
Is considered deeply offensive. A member, the minstrel part says, a member of a type of performance troupe caricaturing black performers that originated in the U.S. in the early 19th century. And then when we look up
And it's so funny because he's blabbering on about blackface when that ain't even my context of saying blackface. But let's go.
Manifest Destiny, it says, and this is just a piece, it's going to get ugly. It says, in the U.S. history, the supposed inevitability of the continued territorial expansion of the boundaries of the United States westward to the to the Pacific and beyond. So it had nothing to do with the 13 colonies. It's about expanding westward, and we're going to get deep into it. Before the American Civil War, the idea of Manifest Destiny was used to validate continental acquisitions in the Oregon country of Texas, New Mexico, California. So when we get into this Manifest Destiny, you'll see why this is one of the dumbest titles I've ever had to entertain. And because I agree,
you shouldn't entertain no stupidity and dumb shit. Now, General Hunter should be teaching you niggas that if you argue with a fool, no one can tell who is who. And that if you gamble, if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So you shouldn't entertain things of this nature, but the reason you entertained it, right?
You want to take one of these slices, dude?
I'm listening. I'm listening.
All right.
I'm listening.
Agreed to the battle and let him pick the battle. I picked whatever title he wanted. So he would have to show the other part where he's going to be wrong at, when he said we're going to talk about work that we do. I am going to talk about what we do in the streets, but here's a quick example. When we're out in the streets, we've never gotten into an argument when we say black people are in the condition for their wickedness. We've never gotten that. We've never gotten an argument to say we getting destroyed because we're drug dealers, we're aborting our babies, we're living an alternative lifestyle. The arguments that we get into is when we start blaming the white man. When we start blaming the white man for the crimes that he's done to us, then black people fight us. When we bring out the Jewish man is not a Jew, then we get more problems with it. So we've never had this argument of why are y'all victim blaming? Victim blaming, YouTube people say. People on the street never call.
Y'all hear that? You see what he's doing?
He's annoying, bro. Like,
right. So
he was
look,
annoying the whole time.
My
he
thing
only
is
did
this.
that because you left. Like he's trying to fuck. Oh my! I don't like him. I don't like him at all. I'm sorry.
So let me just say something, right? I just want to say something real quick, man. I don't really tell my business, but like,
no, I know, and that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, because you can't say
no,
it.
I got you.
I don't like it.
Let me holler. I got you. Only thing I'm saying is this right here, bro. I am associated with a couple of movements and groups that are doing things on the ground. And I don't think I gotta be forced to let niggas know that, because I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? Once you tell a nigga what you associated with, they gonna demonize it, try to find flaws in it, and try to say, but this group is that, right? So, for example, even if you donated blood to the Red Cross, a nigga say, but the Red Cross owned by the white man. You know, I'm just giving you an example, right? But that's all I'm saying. Like, if we showing up for a debate, if I got to go debate Neil deGrasse Tyson about gravity, why he want to know what I'm doing when ain't nobody looking? How can we even determine who doing what when ain't nobody looking? It's a deflection from the topic and title at hand, which another deflection from that was misinterpreting the word blackface. So everything about Tazaryach was let's stray away from the topic at hand, because if I stay on topic, I lose. Let's go.
Call us victim blaming because we're known. I was just yesterday with DC Young Fly, Moneybag Mafia in Newark, New Jersey. They had a stand-up comedy. And when we walk into those arenas and when we walk into those events, the amount of respect we get, and the first thing they always say is, brother, we appreciate the work that you're doing. Because nobody that's outside will ever call us the blackface of Manifest Destiny. They actually call us their liberators. They say, thank you for opening my eyes. So
you can't speak for everybody, though. Because a lot of time when y'all outside, niggas is arguing with y'all threatening niggas, y'all almost about to get into fights. Niggas is saying, bro, leave me the hell alone. I'm just trying to get to work. While you yelling at me about some Yahweh Shah shit, tell me I'm lying. Just like when he almost got the fight with Polite. Like, he act like everybody on the streets is looking at these niggas like heroes, when everybody on the streets looking at you like roaches, like a pest. Like, you in my way, nigga. I'm trying to get to work. Miss me with that Bible shit.
so I could see who we were. Because once you
I'm gonna tell it how it is, nigga. He got this fairy tale illusion of how the world see Hebrew Israelites, but he don't know that the majority of the world just see you as another pessimistic ass religious group. Another as group that's on my, like when I'm walking down Las Vegas Strip and some nigga handing me some little pamphlet about Christ. You ain't no different, you just more aggressive. You yelling with a speaker and all that. Like you on steroids with that shit, nigga.
You get an identity, you're
but you see yourself, they see us as a savior. Really?
Forced to understand.
You see yourself that way, nigga.
The root of the problem, the cause of the problem, and the fix of the problem. The root of the problem is disobedience to God. The cause of the problem is because we love to sin. The cure is repentance. And once you repent.
So when black people repent, then the white man can't do nothing to us no more. Even though, if you ask me, black people, and I hate to say this, as a collective, we're more religious and righteous than these evil ass white folks in power. Think about what this man's saying. He's saying that black people going through everything we going through because we won't repent. Even though the people that's putting us through this shit are evil as hell. They more evil than us. These folks in power, bro, they way more evil than your grandma, your aunties who just going to church every fucking day praying, trying to get by. These folks into all kind of sick shit and they winning, nigga. They ruling the world. And he's telling you, God using them to punish you for being evil, even though they more evil than you. Like I said, God will get Jeffrey Dahmer to beat your ass for eating people. Think about what I'm telling you. If God want to punish me for eating people, why would he get Jeffrey Dahmer to do it when Jeffrey Dahmer eats people? At least get somebody else to do it, God. Let's play the video.
We don't have them problems no more. You want to fix the black community, as I always say, put an Israelite and let them lead every community. You won't see the murders. You won't see the drug abuse. You won't see the broken homes. You won't see abortions. You won't see homosexuality. You won't see all the crimes. And if I was to be specific,
he said if you put Israelites in every community, you won't see none of the shit you see with black folks. As if, but check it out. In all of the communities Israelites in, you see all that shit. Israelites in Las Vegas, you see all that. They in LA, they in Atlanta. Now, for him, what he's saying to be true, right? Everywhere we see Israelites at, we shouldn't see sin. And then I would say, you know what? We need to put these Israelites in other places. Because everywhere you see them niggas at, it ain't no sin right there. But if everywhere I see Israelites at, it's still the same sin or not worse, you can't make that statement. Let's go. Let's play the video.
Because this is probably the most important part.
And look, I can't play all this because, you know, we'll come back to it another day. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come back another day because we about 3 hours in and real talk, this a long debate and I want to dedicate a stream for it, but I'm just letting y'all know what we doing, what to expect with the content. And we do got a debate tomorrow between me and the captain, 21 hours from now, House of Consciousness, about hip hop. Peace and much love. I really got to go right now. Peace to the panel. We out, man. We going to come back and finish this shit though. Trust me.
Salute.
Peace and love.
Salute.
Salute.
Sure.